And we are live. This is Walk Off Wagers presented by Pub Sports Radio. I'm your guy, Wine Time Sports, with my guy Spoons Bets right here, man. We break down the entire MLB card every single Sunday morning, 8 a.m. over here on the West Coast, 11 a.m. over there on the East Coast for all you East Coasters. We break down the entire MLB card. We give you guys our plays for the day. We break down the weather report. We break down the market and such. Also touch on the chat. There's a lot of sharps in that chat that we pay attention to. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this, Spoons. We had a good show again last Sunday. I'm expecting to have an even better one today, so I'm looking forward to it. How was it to have a nice little reset last week, though, Spoons, with the All-Star break coming? I know for me, I got a lot of work done. How was it for you?
It was nice. Got a lot of work done around the house. Put a couple audio books in. Got to reading some. It was refreshing, but a couple days into it, you really start to miss baseball and everything. So really glad to have it back. It's starting to shape up too. We have the trade deadline coming up. We have teams trying to figure out if they're sellers, buyers, what's going to be happening. So a lot of interesting storylines going on around baseball right now.
Yeah, and shout out to my guy Ronnie Lofton in the chat. He has been a member here at Pub Sports Radio for 32 months. I always call my favorite Diamondbacks fan right there. He likes that team. I like that team too. So shout out to them. We might have a play on them today, Ronnie. So we'll see about that. But shout out to everyone in the chat. My guy Stacks, Justin McKelvey, was in there early and often. He gave us the Stacks play of the day. Mike Trout over 1.5 bases plus 120, along with the Dodgers team total over 4.5 minus 115. Stacks record 526 and 565. Shout out to him for that. Shout out to Big Daddy Boom in the chat. That guy's always in the chat. My guy Steven Harrison, Talk Sports with JT, my guy. Can't wait for college football, JT. Looking forward to that. So shout out to you. We got my guy Scott said, what's up, boys? What's up, Scott? Good to see you. Go Cubs, go, he said. I know Spoon's going to be glad to hear that. Top Set said, good morning. Lex Steele in the house. We've got Sir Mackey Loves Pie. Haven't seen you on the show in a while, Sir Mackey. Shout out to you for being here. We got another Justin in the chat. My guy Lil Domo, got to kick it with him in San Antonio for a bit. Dave McKinnon said, much respects to Stacks. Always posts his record and plays. Yeah. Shout out to him, man. I appreciate it. Swish, my guy, Nasty Motherfucking Nate. That's my guy right there. Good to see you. Good to see everyone that's rolling in, guys. I'm excited to break down this entire MLB card. We might have a special guest or two along the way today, so I'm excited for that as well. And I'm excited to break down this loaded MLB card on a beautiful Sunday morning, man. Spoons touched on it. It was nice to have a reset, but I also did miss baseball as well. I miss the grind of baseball. It's an everyday grind that you really got to learn to love and respect for it. So shout out to MLB, and I'm glad that it's back here on full swing after the All-Star break. All the teams got a nice little refresh, and the Cappers got a nice little refresh. See my guy Joey DFS in the building. Shout out to you, my guy J-Dub, one of our winners of our racing contest when we did a giveaway. Speaking of which, guys, I'm going to just say it right now in the beginning of the show. A couple weeks ago, we got back-to-back weeks with over 200 likes. If we can get 200 likes today, I'm going to do a $50 giveaway. Either at the end of the show or something on Medicate Monday tomorrow. We'll figure out something, but get us to 200 likes. Share the video on YouTube. Share the video with your friends in the group chat. We appreciate it. My guy Fernando Mendoza right there. Kyle Massetti, Top Set. Good to see all you guys here early and often. Oh, shout out to my guy Justin, too. He knows how it is, man. He must know Wine Time wants to take a shot at 8 a.m. over here on the West Coast. Shout out to him for gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. I want to pull that up really quick. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Stacks right there. I'm going to take a shot for my guy. And Joey DFS, new member. He had to renew his stuff, he said. So it's 2 memberships right there. My guy Kong's Clip in the building. And if I missed you guys, I apologize. There's a lot of names in that chat, but I'm going to do a quick shot for my guy Stacks and for my guy Joey DFS, who's been killing it over there with the MMA content. Stacks killing it with the WNBA. So shout out to them. We get right onto this first game, Spoons. We've got the San Francisco Giants and the Toronto Blue Jays to start this beautiful card out here. I want to pull the lines up really quick here. All right, we got the San Francisco Giants sitting 5 games over 500. This is an early start, guys. This is in about less than an hour. Got the San Francisco Giants currently sitting about a minus 105. Same with the Blue Jays. It seems like it's going both ways here. It's about to pick them right now. We've got a total at an 8.5 right now. We've got Robbie Ray on the mound. We know how good this guy is for the Giants. And we know Jose Berrios has, he's been inconsistent at times in his career, but this season he actually has been pretty consistent. He's been pitching pretty well. He has had some bad outings, but this is going to be a good game, man. These Toronto Blue Jays spoons just keep firing on all cylinders. It's absolutely wild to see. The fact that I got a plus 700 on them to win the East about 3-4 weeks ago is just crazy at this point. It's still a long ways to go, spoons. We see teams collapse. I mean, we've seen it happen a lot this year, but they're looking good right now. It's going to be a tough matchup with Robbie Ray on the mound for the San Francisco Giants. Spoons, take this one away. If you have anything on this game, break down the weather, market. Let's go.
Yeah, I have a bet in this game. I ended up getting to the side with the Giants money line. Start with the weather, though. We have the wind blowing in. I expect the roof open, temperatures in the low 80s. That's probably confirmed at this point. If anybody in the chat wants to go check and verify that. We have 9-mile-an-hour winds blowing in, though, so not the most offensive weather. This park isn't affected as much as something like Wrigley, but wind still affects every park in its own sense. We got 64% of the tickets on the San Francisco Giants, but 74% of the cash on the Toronto Blue Jays. We have 91% of the tickets on the under and 91% of the cash on the under. This line opened at an 8 at most places, and you can get an 8.5 now. Wow. So they don't really care about that under money and under tickets, but this line's really stayed pretty consistent. I guess it's moved a little bit towards San Francisco here. I got plus 100 last night on ESPN Bet. Looking at this game, Toronto Blue Jays obviously playing very well. They have a really big game on deck with the New York Yankees. A really big series. This is a team that's right behind them in the standings. They need to come out of that with a series win. So you don't want to go into that with a really bad bullpen. And that's kind of where they're at right now. There's no way they use Jeff Hoffman tonight. He's gone on back-to-back nights. Yariel Rodriguez did not go last night, so he might be available, but Brendan Little went last night. I just think this is a spot where we get the Toronto Blue Jays kind of peeking ahead, and the San Francisco Giants get to get a win. This Robbie Ray had his best season of his career here in Toronto just a few seasons back. He definitely knows how to pitch in this park. It's got to be a good feeling going back to a place where you did well. He doesn't have to worry about the same pitching coach or anything there right now. So this is a spot where I like the Giants from a lot of different angles.
Yeah, spoons. It's funny. When I capped this game last night, looking at this total, it was at an 8 for me. And I opened up at a minus 105 as I was capping the card. I ended up going to a minus 110. And I was like, damn, this is getting more juice to the under here with these two good pitchers on the mound. Maybe the under's a good spot. You just hit it right on the head, man. It went up to an 8.5 with these two pitchers on the mound, guys. With all the money and tickets coming in on this under, doesn't make a lot of sense for me. I want to move on this over here in this spot. I can currently get an over 8.5 at a minus 105. And I'm debating on moving on the Giants with you, man. I like the Giants here in this spot, too. You mentioned the Blue Jays have the Yankees on deck tomorrow. The Blue Jays are playing some good baseball, but they're going to take some L's here and there. And this might be the spot with Robbie Ray on the mound. I'm not going to move on anything official quite yet in this game, spoons. I have 4 plays, and to be honest, I didn't want to add anything on this card. I didn't want to have too big of a card, but this is a spot that I might end up moving on right with you here. I just want to see what I'm going to refresh this to see. Yeah, it's still minus 105 pretty much both ways right here. I want to look at the first 5 really quick. Minus 110 both ways, and we've got a 4.5. Yeah, something's telling me that even though both these pitchers have been pitching well this season, there's going to be some vulnerability and some letdown innings here for both these pitchers today. So I do like the over here. I'm going to write it down right now, spoons. We can go back over this at the end of the card. Oh, actually change that. Blue Jays now minus 107, Giants minus 103. Just had 2 cents of movement towards the Jays here in this spot. Doesn't mean too much. We still have some time, but I want to go back over this game, spoons. I know it starts in less than an hour, but I'm very close to moving on this over 8.5 minus 105, but we'll get back to it. We can move on to the next game. Spoons is locked in. He's on the Giants money line here today. You got plus 100, Spoons?
Yep.
Perfect. Just want to write that down, and we can move on to this next game here. Got another good battle here in the AL East, man. Baltimore Orioles against the Tampa Bay Rays. Man, Tampa Bay Rays, they were on a hot streak. I mean, kind of similar to what the Blue Jays are doing, and they just kind of fell off. Haven't been playing the best baseball going into the All-Star break. This could be another early start, guys. This starts in about less than an hour at 9:10 over here on the West Coast. Got Tyler Rogers on the mound here for the Baltimore Orioles against Ryan Pepio, my guy Ryan Pepio. I like this guy. I like his stuff out there. He passes the eye test for me. I like this Rays team. You guys know me. It seems like I'm a little biased on this team at times, but I like this team. I like what they have. I like the hitters. I mean, at the beginning of the season, you look at this batting order and you're like Yandy Diaz, but there's just been guys that have been coming up this year. I mean, how many All-Stars did they have in the game, Spoons? 4 or 5? Like, it was crazy. The Rays, a little star-studded over there, which is crazy to say. Shout out to my guy, Dutch Boy Fresh, in the building. I see him. Shout out to you, one of our stars of Medicate Monday, every single Monday over on Pub Sports Radio, along with his co-host right there, my guy, Dabby motherfucking Cab. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you guys for showing out. See my guy, sports scientist Jacob, as well in the chat. Shout out to you. We're going to see my guy, Jacob, here in just a couple games. Might have ruined the surprise, but we're going to be seeing our guy, sports science Jacob, here soon. Spoons, take it away, my guy. Baltimore Orioles, Tampa Bay Rays. We got Trevor Rogers against Ryan Pepio. Do you have anything in this game?
I kind of went back and forth. I struggled. I wanted to get there with an under in this game. I'll touch on the weather and the market real quick. We have Steinbrenner Field today at plus 7% runs overall and plus 19% home runs. This is an exact replica of Yankee Stadium plopped down there in Florida. So it plays pretty friendly to lefty power when the wind's blowing out, but the wind isn't blowing out that much today. It's going out between 3 to 4 miles an hour. And normally in the daytime, we see this wind pick up quite a bit more. And I think it's sort of reflected in that 9 that they still expect runs, but it opened at an 8.5 and they moved it to a 9. You have a lot of tickets and money on the under, 88% of the tickets and 94% of the money on the under. And at this point, that's what's keeping me off. I would expected more money on the actual overs. So on the sidewise, we have 52% of the tickets on the Baltimore Orioles and 78% of the cash. This line opened up minus 125 plus 105 most places. And you can get that just about every book. Caesars has minus 125, and you can find a minus 105 still if you want, or a plus 105. So not a ton has happened with the market. So they pretty much hit this with the nail on the opener. And I don't think I can get to either side. Ryan Pepio's been just lights out. He knows how to pitch in this ballpark. He's got a .92 whip on the season versus lefties, and that's all the big bats for these Orioles. And on the opposite side of this, we have Trevor Rogers, who's pitching the best baseball of his career right now. And the last time he had a bad game, it was against these Tampa Bay Rays. I expect him to want to right that wrong and come in and pitch well again, but he's already been touched by him. They know how to do it. And if we look at his strength of competition, it's Miami, Texas when they were hurt. Atlanta wasn't swinging the ball that well, or bat that well. I think this is a spot he might be in for a letdown. So I can't go either way with this game. There's too much variance baked into it, but I really like Tampa Bay as a side in the under.
Yeah, Rays going for the sweep here. I was on the Rays yesterday. It was a close game, 4-3. I am going to be backing this Rays team in the second half of the season. I just feel like I kind of already made my money with them in this series. Going for the sweep here, it's always hard to sweep a team in Major League Baseball, especially a team in your division. I'm not going to end up backing the Rays here. It's just, like you said, nothing correlates enough for me. There's my guy, Davy Cat. Shout out to Razor Sharp Picks as well in the chat. My guy right there. We got to get Razor on one of these Sundays whenever he's free. I know he's a busy guy over there with the family on Sundays, but anytime Razor wants to come on, Razor, you know you're welcome. And yeah, it's Debbie Cab said it. It's Brandon Marsh Day, man, in Philadelphia. We're going to be coming up to that game here shortly, but on this game, Orioles, Tampa Bay Rays. I wanted to be on the Rays here in this spot. I just couldn't do it. I made my money with them yesterday. I'm not going to go back to the well with them again today. Even though I like Pepio more than Rogers, I like this Rays team more than the Orioles, and we're getting an affordable price with the Rays at home. Just maybe seems a little bit too good to be true to me as well. I'm going to end up staying away for this game. So this is going to be a pass for me, guys. Nothing for me in Baltimore Orioles, Tampa Bay Rays, although I do think this is going to be a good ball game. I had a lean to the Rays, and now it's slowly like moving towards the Orioles. So nothing for me in this game, Spoons. Anything else you want to touch on before we move on to my Angels against Jacob's Phillies?
No, I'm really interested to hear your take in this game. I had a pretty strong lean. I wanted to get there to the ticket window with it, and it didn't end up making it last night.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one right here, Spoons. I mean, we've had a good series so far. I mean, this is must-watch baseball these last couple games. Just the stars are coming out. They're hitting bombs. They're going back and forth. It's Schwarber and Harper against Adele and Mike Trout, it seems like right now. These guys are crushing the baseball here in Philly. And, yeah, sports scientist Jacob said, good to see Trout. Yeah, I love to see Trout doing his thing out there, man. He's been hitting the baseball really well. Going into the All-Star break, I remember telling Spoons, I was like, damn, like, he's seen the ball really well. And, of course, they're going to the All-Star break. He saw the ball well in game one. They took a loss yesterday. Just the long ball with people on base, when you get guys like Schwarber and Bryce Harper up, man, those guys are just killers at the plate, man. It's crazy to watch. But game one, the Angels took care of business there. They had the bullpen day, a very surprising bullpen game. Let me tell you that, because the Angels have had the same starting rotation throughout the entire season. What do they do going right out the gate? They go for let me see here. So going into this game here, we got Jose. Sorry, I lost my trait right there. I was reading the chat. Sports scientist said Schwarber MVP. Yeah, he's been playing some good baseball, man. But Angels took care of business in game one. They had the bullpen day. They pretty much had all their guys ready to go yesterday. They fell behind a little bit early. Jansen's gonna be pitching today, as long as they have the lead going into this game here. This could be an interesting one, though, guys, because I thought the Angels were going to be super motivated coming out of the All-Star break. There's a couple players that missed the All-Star game, I feel like, that got robbed of it. And we only saw Kikuchi out there, and Kikuchi didn't even pitch. He was there more for the vibes. He was chilling with his old Toronto buddies. He saw him with Vladdy and all those guys the entire All-Star break, it seemed like. But going into this game right here, Spoons, this is a tough spot for me. Spoons, do you know the last time the Angels won on a Sunday, just at the top of your head?
No, that's a odd stat. No idea what you got.
Well, I only know this because I follow a lot of reporters. The Angels have not won a Sunday baseball game since May 18th. It's been over 2 months since these Angels have won a baseball game on a Sunday. It seems like every time I talk about my Angels, they lose here on these Sundays. So it kind of makes sense. That being said, it's a little bit of a weirder number, though. I mean, we got Jose Soriano on the mound. Currently, the line's sitting, plus 160. I mean, when are you ever going to see Jose Soriano being a plus 160 against anyone in baseball? He was supposed to be the pitcher in game one, and they were around the same price. And I thought that was fishy. Even though it is the Phillies, it is the Angels, still think Soriano should never be priced like that, which makes me think the books probably know something, that Soriano might be live to get hit here. Today, Spoons, we're seeing a total at 9 here. It looks like it could be a pretty hot day at the ballpark, offensive-friendly weather. And I think that Phillies are live to win this game. I think the Angels are going to lose this series. I think their chance to take the series was yesterday. I think Soriano might get lit up a little bit today. And we're seeing, the Phillies team total over 4.5, juice to the over at minus 120 right now. That's kind of telling me everything I need to know here. I wouldn't be on the Angels here in this spot, Spoons, if that's the way you were potentially leaning at. I just think it's a little bit of a weird number. Yeah, we're getting really good price on Soriano, but I think it's for a reason. These bats from the Phillies, man, once they get hot, and there's always that one angel killer on the opposing team, and it seems like there's two in Schwarber and Harper in this series. So it's going to be a good ball game regardless. I love Soriano. I think he's a really good pitcher. He passes everything. He passes the eye test. It's just when he starts walking guys, Spoons, and I'm sure you know that too. When he starts walking guys, it gets kind of out of hand, but he's a ground ball pitcher. This guy seems like 2 or 3 times a game he's in trouble and he gets a ground ball double play to get himself out of a jam. If he does that today, he could pitch well. It's just if he gives up that long ball to one of these boppers in that order with people on base, we're seeing a higher total here at 9. It's tough, Spoons, with that breakdown. I'm off this game. I've got 4 plays today, and first 3 games I don't have a plan. Spoons, take it away here if you have anything in this game.
I have a strong lean to the Angels here. I'll just go through the weather market stuff real quick. We have 57% of the tickets on the under, 53% of the cash on the over. This line open at an 8.5 most places, and you can find 9s out there, but there's still a few 8.5 stragglers, so it hasn't moved a ton. They're definitely respecting the sharp money, though, on those books that are coming in that have the 9s. That's like circa some of your square books have the 8.5. So I think that over is probably live is what they're telling you with those market moves. 71% of the tickets on Philadelphia and 66% of the cash on Philadelphia. Not a big surprise there with Ranger Suarez on the mound, but Citizens Bank Ballpark today has modeled for plus 15% runs overall and plus 39% home runs. The wind is blowing out towards the right field wall, which favors lefties, and you have temperatures in the high 80s. It's going to be humid, so it's going to feel in the low to mid 90s. Great run scoring weather is what they're telling you. There, it's the second highest modeled game on the day for Ballpark Pal. With Jose Soriano on the mound, this is, like you talked about, it's a ground ball pitcher. And like Sharpie's told us many times, this field gets left a little bit long for their own ground ball pitchers. And I think it's a spot where Jose Soriano represents quite a bit of value. Ranger Suarez on the season has been lights out. I keep expecting regression to hit. This guy is amazing at getting lefties out. He's got a 0.6 whip on the season. And as Wine Time knows, there's only one lefty in that Angels lineup. So his biggest strength doesn't really come into play in this game. He's definitely more susceptible to righties. Talking about Mike Trout getting healthy. He's playing balls in the outfield, getting ready to make a move back out there. And I think that correlates perfectly with him swinging the bat better. That means this guy's back. He's healthy. This lineup, since the management change, I mean, you see it. They walk a ton more. They strike out less. Everything's going well with this lineup. I was on the Phillies yesterday. I thought that was a really good spot for him. And I think Soriano can keep him off the board today. I'm probably going to stay off without you on it, though.
Yeah, it's a tough one, Spoons. I'm getting such a good number with my guy Soriano, but it just, like I said, it almost seems like a little bit too good to be true coming from an Angel fan. I've just seen it so many times. And when a price looks too good on my squad, especially, outside of, Kikuchi's obviously the all-star. He's the ace in this rotation, but Soriano's definitely number two. And Soriano would be probably a number two in a lot of different rotations, I feel like, this year too. It's been a couple blow-ups that he's really had that's made his ERA a little bit inflated, it seems like. But when he's out there, man, this guy's a stud. His sinker is so nasty. It's fast. I like this guy. I like Soriano a lot. I'm glad that we made him a bullpen pitcher to a starting pitcher last year. He wasn't ever supposed to be in the starting rotation. He ended up pitching some long relief, and Ron Washington liked what he saw. And I'm glad that they did, because he's definitely been pitching really well for this team. It's going to be a pass for me, Spoons. Not going to move on this game, especially when I saw that the Angels have not won at home on a Sunday in 2 months. Maybe they're due to have a win here with some nice plus money. We saw them do it in game one. It's just, it doesn't correlate enough for me to actually move on this game. So we can move on to this next one, Spoons, unless there's anything else you want to touch on before we get on to probably the best game on the board in the White Sox and Pirates.
No, I'm just disappointed. I was hoping you were going to talk me on to plus 160. It sounded fun.
Let me see so right now, yeah, Angels plus 160. It said on the board plus 110. I think that was from yesterday. I was a little bit confused when I first read this line off. I was like, this line ain't fishy. But with that being said, we'll move on to the next one. A bum fight or the best game on the card? I'm not really sure, guys. We got Aaron Savali on the mound against Andrew Heaney. Two journeymen, man. When you think about journeymen, these are two guys that you guys think about. Come on, let's be completely honest here. We got Aaron Savali coming in here from the White Sox. And Andrew Heaney. Andrew Heaney, I know this guy well. I knew him back on the Angels. It seems like this guy's 40 years old. How many times I've seen him pitch. Still pitching effectively at this age, and I'm definitely curious to see where he is going to go around the trade deadline. I don't think he's going to be here. I think he's going to end up getting moved, and probably Mitch Helen Keller. Skeens is definitely not getting moved, guys. I know everyone's out there talking about that. I hate to hear that. He's still a young guy. This is his second year with that team. Let these guys develop a little bit. But shout out to my guy Gorky in the chat. Best baseball pregame. Shout out to you, Gorky, my guy. Appreciate your support as always. Don't got a shot poured out, but I'll take a sip of coffee for you right there. Maybe I'll get a shot going here in a bit. If we get one more donation, I will definitely get a shot going. So shout out to my guy Gorky, always showing support over here at Pub Sports Radio. Shout out to my guy Steven Harrison in the chat right there. He said Angels plus 140 on DK. What? That's crazy. That's a huge difference from what I'm seeing right now to plus 160. Let me just refresh my page here before I comment on that, because I want to be sure. If it's down to a plus 140, then something happened. But I'm still getting the same. What? Spoons, I'm getting a plus 145 now. What just happened? All right. Let's turn back. Let's go back to this Angels game, Jose, really quick. Angels Phillies, guys, game 3 of this series. This line is moving continuously towards the Angels here at this point. Alex Dirks 100 plus 138 Angels on FanDuel. This line is moving, guys. Spoons wanted to talk about this game, so we're gonna go back over this just because this is my squad right here, and something's a little bit fishy here. I mean, if we're seeing this line move towards, I know the Angels lineup is posted, the Phillies lineup just get posted, and someone's potentially out for this team. That has to be the only move. I just want to pull this up here really quick. Angels, Phillies. The Angels lineup is posted. The Phillies lineup is posted. It looks like everyone is in there. My guy, Dabby Cabs, Brandon Marsh, hitting 5th and playing center field. So he's definitely going to get his at-bats out there. It's so crazy, like Spoons, like just to hear like how much money he's made off of Brandon Marsh, and you look at his numbers, it's like 3 home runs, 21 RBIs on the season. Like, you know what I mean? But this guy's been cash. It seems like for Dabby Cab. So shout out to him. Yeah, something doesn't seem right here. I figured someone was going to be out for this in this order. Spoons, do you see anyone out that's not supposed to be there?
At the bottom of the lineup, Otto Kemp starting third base. What's his name? Alec Boehm,
Okay.
I believe, has been moved to the injured list, but that would have been baked into the line because he had already been moved there. Going through the rest of the lineup, Marchand's one of their regular catchers. Is that that they were just expecting the other catcher in the game?
JT, is he worth 20 cents of movement? I don't think so. This is weird. I'm going to most likely be on the Angels here in the spot. We'll circle back over this game. We still have another 2 hours. We can move on to the next game. I just
what I would say just happened is a big sharp move. You have 72% of the tickets on Philadelphia, 66% of the cash. I think if we look back, we'll see that percentage of cash has dropped down further. It's that time of day where all the limits are off on most of the places where people can wager. So that's probably what that represented right there.
Wow. All right. Well, we will go back over this game. I have 2 games that I want to circle back over, and we're only 4 games in the card, I believe. So let's move on to this next game here. We've got the New York Yankees, the Bronx Bombers against the Atlanta Braves. What an interesting
White Sox Pirates.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We can't just skip over this bum fight, guys. This is the best game on the card right here. Come on. We got 2 potential playoff teams in 5 to 10 years in the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Chicago White Sox. Shout out to their fan base. I don't know if you saw it on social media yesterday, Spoons, but Mac Miller bobblehead getting sold for like $250, $300 after the game. There was one guy that was going around the whole stadium with a trash bag, picking up Mac Miller bobbleheads, people that left them behind. I can't tell you how many times I've left a souvenir behind at a ball game that I put it under my seat. Angels are losing the 8th. I'm like, I'm getting the hell out of here, man. And then I get to my car. I'm like, dang, that freaking blanket that was really nice, or that backpack is just sitting right under there. So shout out to the people that go around and do that, because you can make some good money auctioning that stuff off, especially Mac Miller. And shout out to Mac Miller. I got to see him at the observatory over here in Santa Ana when I graduated high school in 2013. We did a meet and greet. Me and my buddy showed up late, and we're thinking we're waiting in this long line where we got a meet and greet. Why are we waiting in this line? We go up to the front. We're like, we have a meet and greet, and he's like, oh, it's already over. And we're like, what? And he's like, let me radio him. And they radio him, and he's like, oh, Mac's gonna wait for you guys. We go down there, we meet him, we get a pic with him. I got it on my Instagram. So it was a good time there. So shout out to my guy Mac Miller. Represents Pittsburgh the right way. And there's my other Pittsburgh guy right there, Justin McKelvey. Got Gorky giving another $2 dono. Everyone in here showing love right now. And someone else gifted a Pub Sports Radio. Kyle Macedo gifted 1 Pub Sports Radio membership. Shout out to you, my guy. I got to go get a shot poured out. So my guy Spoons is going to lead us into this game right here. White Sox Pirates. Take it away, Spoons.
Yeah, White Sox Pirates in PNC Park. We have Andrew Heaney and Aaron Savali on the mound. PNC Park today is modeled at plus 10% runs overall and plus 3% home runs, plus 19% doubles and triples. That's a scary mix when we got a bum fight on the mound. Aaron Savali, a guy, said that I really don't expect to be in Major League Baseball much past this season. And Andrew Heaney has definitely had his tough times this season, going back-to-back games, giving up 7 earned runs to the Milwaukee lineup and the Detroit lineup. But outside of that little blow-up, he's been pretty serviceable. Teams with some really good lefties can definitely hit him. Arizona also got to him this season. But this White Sox lineup doesn't have a ton of good lefties. It's a AAA lineup with a couple major league bats in it. And I think this is a spot Andrew Heaney can really pitch well. Aaron Savali on the other side of the plate has a 5.89 xFIP versus righties. That's most of this Pirates lineup, but some of the big bats are lefties, and he's got a 5.23 xFIP versus lefties, and those are just huge numbers. He's just not proficient at getting outs. He doesn't cover first base well. There's just a lot of things that are left to be desired with Heaney or with Savali. The market in this game, we have 65% of the tickets on the under, 76% of the cash on the under. This line opened at an 8.5. The book said, I don't care. It's at a 9. We have 56% of the tickets on the Pittsburgh Pirates and 52% of the cash. And that represents some of my cash. I put the Pirates minus 140 last night. You can get, I think, 5 cents better than that, like minus 135-ish right now. This is a spot I really expect the Pirates to be able to get a win here at home. They just did not get a win on the big bobblehead night there. I think there's still some energy in that stadium. Some Pittsburgh Pirates fans are happy getting free tickets off the bobbleheads they sold last night. This is a spot where it's hard to beat a team at home. In baseball, it probably represents like a 55% win percentage overall over the course of the season if you look at all the teams. And I think this is a spot where Pittsburgh just gets the win. Their bullpen's nice and fresh. Nobody had to go last night. Of meaning, you had Bednar, still hasn't pitched since the All-Star break. Same with Dennis Santana. And the White Sox used quite a few arms last night, even though that they won handily. So I think this is a spot where Pittsburgh gets a win.
Yeah, and shout out to my guy Gorky. I think it's like the third or fourth dono he's given out. And shout out to everyone that's given donations, guys. You don't know how much it means to this channel, to us here at Pub Sports Radio. It means a ton. It means that you guys support us, like what we're doing. So shout out to you guys. And for that, I'm going to take a shot. I'm also going to take a shot for my guy Mac Miller, RIP. So shout out to you guys and shout out to all the donations coming in. Guys, hit the like button. I'm doing a $50 giveaway if we get to 200 likes. We've got pretty much 200 people in the building. That means if everyone hits the like button, guys, we could get there really quick. We've got 175 people in the building currently. We're going to get over that 200 mark here shortly. I'm going to guess in the next 20 to 30 minutes when people start waking up, having their coffee over here. We're going to get the West Coasters. So shout out to you guys. Talking about this game, Spoons, it's going to end up being a pass for me. I saw that you were on the Pirates last night. When I capped this game, I saw the Pirates last night around a minus 140, minus 145. Currently, I see them sitting at a minus 132 with Heaney on the mound. Who do I like better in this matchup? I mean, pitching-wise, it's obviously Heaney. I heard you say Savali is probably not going to be pitching in Major League Baseball in 2026, which I do agree with. We might see him over there in the KBO make an appearance or Japanese baseball. We'll see. But yeah, this guy is pretty much on one of his last shots. The White Sox, not a team I want to back by any means. I did back them one game in the series and they cashed for me. I'll take that plus money that I got at like plus 120 and I'll run with it from this series. I'm not going to move on this game. Pretty much have to trust this Pirates bats, and I don't trust these bats whatsoever, Spoons. Shout out to O'Neal Cruz, though, man. He put on a freaking show at the Home Run Derby in that first round, hitting that ball 513 feet, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to my guy Nathan Cerna, too. He said that he was in Santa Ana a little bit ago. Yeah, it's Nathan. I'm over here in Costa Mesa. I'm over here in the OC, man. So I'm right there next to Santa Ana and Newport. I think you're an OC guy, too. So we'll have to link up one of these days. And speaking of link ups, I got to link up with my guy Moose Money. Bets on Wednesday. He lives in San Diego. I'm over here in Orange County. We met up halfway. He told, you got Moose. When Moose tells you something about food, guys, you listen because he told me this was going to be the best burger I was ever going to eat. I couldn't complain one bit. It was definitely the best burger I ever had. I think for him, he said it was his top 3, but it was a good time being able to link up with my guy. Excited to talk college football with him coming up. It's always a blast meeting up with the people in the chat, people you see on screen that you share the screen with all the time. It's really cool. It's a good time. So shout out to everyone. I'm going to end up passing on this game, though. My guy Spoons, remind me, you got the Pirates at minus 140 last night. Yep. Tweeted it out on his Twitter. He's got 2 plays so far. He's on the Giants money line at plus 100 and Pirates minus 140. I haven't moved on anything quite yet, guys. I do have 4 plays, and we're going to be seeing them coming up. And maybe I add a play here in the next game. But again, guys, hit that like button. I want to see where we're at currently right now. I think we're at about 72. All right, we're getting up there, guys. we're almost halfway there. So hit the like button, guys. Spoons, we'll move on to this next game. A very interesting game yesterday. I don't know if I didn't watch this game personally, but I saw everything that happened on social media with Jazz and the Braves coach in the dugout. They're going at it. Pretty crazy. This was must-watch baseball yesterday. And the Yankees just coming back, used that fire as fuel, and they got it done here. Seems like the Braves have been the favorite in every game this series, and just doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think the books are trying to tell us that the Braves are going to somewhat maybe make a run in the second half of the season, which is crazy for me to say because I don't like watching this team play baseball, Spoons. They've cost me some good money this season in spots that I thought they were live. They're obviously not. This team is sitting 11 games under 500 against the New York Yankees, who are fighting for that East title division. They don't want to make the wild card. They want to win that division. They have to keep winning games, especially when they're going to face off in Toronto for the next 3 games. That's going to be a good series. I'm excited to cap the card for tomorrow with the Yankees and Blue Jays. But in this one, I have a lean towards the Braves here. I like Grant Holmes at times this season. I like him a lot better than Marcus Stroman. I can tell you that right now. And seeing this just seems kind of fishy, Spoons. I didn't end up moving on this. We do have a total here. This is our first 10.5 total on the board that we've talked about, and we only have one more after that, and that's where in Coors Field, of course. So I'm curious to hear the weather report on this, how hitter-friendly it's going to be here today, Spoons. Are the Braves just going to crush Marcus Stroman, and is Grant Holmes going to be somewhat vulnerable here today? Spoons, take it away. I'm all ears here. I want to move on this game in some sort of way.
So right as you were talking, I actually made my move in this game. I'll get there in a second. Plus 4% runs overall at Truist Park today between the New York Yankees and the Atlanta Braves. Plus 16% home runs modeled by our friends over there at Ballpark Pal. Double check if lineups are out for this game. Dominguez, Judge, Bellinger, Stanton, Chisholm, Goldschmidt, Ben Rice, Volpe, and Jorge Vivas playing third for the New York Yankees. Profar, Olsen, Acuna, Baldwin, Albies, Ozuna, Alvarez, Harris, and Allen in for the Atlanta Braves, both official lineups. I ended up just moving on the New York team total over 4.5 at -130. Something I was looking at pretty heavily last night. Wanted to make sure bats would be in this lineup for the New York Yankees. They have a really important series on deck with the Blue Jays, as I alluded to earlier, but it was a crazy game last night. They were down to Atlanta. It looked like Atlanta was going to find a way to come out and win that game, and the New York Yankees loaded the bases, got all the runs in. I was on the New York Yankees team total yesterday, and it felt really easy. I didn't pay too much attention to the game after that, but looking at the bullpen usage, you had quite a few important arms get used on back-to-back days for the Atlanta Braves. Both of their setup men and Dylan Lee and Pierce Johnson have now gone on back-to-back days. Raciel Iglesias has gone on back-to-back days. That's their closer. Rafael Montero, one of their best setup arms, threw 29 pitches yesterday. This is a spot where they're really kind of in a bad spot for pitching. They had to use Joey Wentz and Dane Dunning as a pitching combo out there right now. The Atlanta Braves are just not healthy, and with the bullpen this cooked, I expect these Yankees to get a lot of runs on the board today. The reason I'm not going to just get on the Yankees side is I don't have a lot of faith in Stroman. I think this is a spot where the Atlanta Braves can also get to him. We look at him on the season right now as splits. He's got a 1.6 whip to lefties. That's a bad number, but an even worse number to righties at 1.71, and that's comes along with a 6.17 xFIP to righties. And that's a lot of the bats in that Atlanta lineup that I just mentioned. That's Profar, that's Acuna, that's Albies, that's Ozuna, Alvarez, Allen. So I think they also get runs. The 10.5 is just too much for me, but a 4.5 for the Yankees, I'll take it right now.
What are you getting?
-130.
Oh, wow. That's a good number, Spoons. I don't even want to tell you what my book's offering me right now, which makes me think that you're heading in the right direction because these offshore books, especially when it's this much of a difference, they knew there's going to be some volatility. With these pitchers, right now they're giving me a -145 on the over 4.5 for the New York Yankees here. You're getting nearly 15 cents better than me. I like the move here. If I could get a -130, I would move on it with you. I don't know if I can move them on a nearly -150 team total, though.
So I was glancing around. I think that's pretty much the consensus at most of the public books. I did see a minus 135, minus 140 on a couple, but you can get it at Fanatics right now. And I think DK was the other one I glanced at that had the minus 130.
I'm going to pull up. I'll continue.
I'll real quick touch on the market. 52% of the tickets on the New York Yankees, 56% of the cash, 50% of the tickets on the over, but 84% of the cash on the over. So the big bets, the sharps are on that over. And that's why it's moved up a full run. It's not because of outrageous Atlanta great weather, but that is a thing. And these are two East Coast teams that are not going to be as altered by a early start as some West Coast teams might be.
Yeah, this is an interesting one, Spoons. It's funny on my offshore books. My normal one that I've been using for years gives me way better prices on underdogs. But this new one, whenever I want to take favorites, it gives me a way better price on the favorites. And I'm looking at that right now, the team total on this website, and they're giving me Yankees team total over 4.5 minus 135. So a pretty affordable price here. Something I might move on here. I want to refresh this other page just to make sure that there isn't a move on this spot. No, so my better and more reliable book is actually giving me a worse number, which is telling me something here that they don't want me to take that. So I'm close with you, man. I'm going to write this down right here. I might end up adding this at the end of the show. Yankees team total over 4.5. It is minus 135, guys, but all four of my plays today are underdogs plus money. So, I mean, this would be the one juicy play today. So I'm thinking about it, Spoons. I'm right there with you, man. I like everything you said, and it makes sense. Maybe the Braves team total at, what is it right now? Let's see, at 5.5 plus 110 on this book. And on this book, they are, okay, over 5 minus 120. Over 5 minus 120 is actually doesn't look too bad. It's crazy. The favorite book, like they gave me such better numbers on like the team totals and the favorites, and the other one gives me better numbers on the dogs. So that's interesting. I'd love to see that, but it's going to be a pass for me, Spoons. I'm not going to end up moving on this game. I know we've got a game coming on next that we've got two guests backstage ready to go to break this game down with us, guys. Two guys you guys see on the show. I'm going to give my guy Daddy Cab a minute or two. I'm going to bring on Jacob first, but shout out to these two guys, man. I'm killing it over there. My guy, sports scientist Jacob. This guy's got almost like 10,000 followers on Twitter. Posts every single day with the community. He comes out. He shows us love here at Pub Sports Radio. You always see him in the chat, the Kyle Kerms channel as well. Just giving out winners, man. This guy breaks down all the games. It seems like he has plays in a lot of these games too. He always finds value. Hey, man, he's a sports scientist, so what do you expect? Let's bring on my guy right here, sports scientist Jacob, to the building. Jacob, what's up, my guy? Good to see you here on a beautiful Sunday morning. I guess it's afternoon out there over in Philly, but good to see you, my guy.
11:46. I just finished up my coffee in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. I'm on cup number 2, and it's not even 9 a.m.
I'll probably drink a second cup when we're done the show.
Shout out to you, my guy. And without further ado, let's bring on our next guest. This is the star of Medicate Mondays every single Monday here at Pub Sports Radio with our guy, Dutch Boy Fresh. Guy's always bringing heat with the player props. I'm excited to talk college football here with him in the next couple of weeks. Not just the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, man. It's going to be a good time breaking down the college football with this guy, my good friend right here. I got to kick it with this guy twice in San Antonio, man. Last time I was out there at Pub, man, we had a good time, man, me and Dabby Cab. This guy's a great dude, great capper. Let's bring on Dabby motherfucking Cab. What up, Dabby?
Yo, happy Sunday, boys. Happy walk-off wager day. Glad to be here, ready to get paid, man. Let's get to it.
And my guy Dabby Cabs got the fresh cut, guys. Last time I saw him, man, he had long hair. And everyone liked the long hair too. But he got the cut. He looks fresh out there, man. It looks like a beautiful day out there in Dallas, Texas. Cab, yeah. I know you're outside right now, so break us down what you're gonna give us.
Yeah, and this will go against a lot of I'll use the word sharp, but I'll use it lightly here, right? People are going to see the Padres, and I get it, man, and it's baseball, so obviously anything can happen. But you're going to see this line with Nick Pivetta, and you're going to say, that's a trap, right? That's got to be what I imagine. Everybody's going to look at this and think, if this was the first game of the series, I agree. I feel like it's a trap. It's not the first game of the series. This is the rubber match of the series. You got the Padres, sitting at a point right now where everybody's saying the same thing. Are they going to do what the Padres do and just fall off, or are they going to step up and be the baseball team that they're supposed to be, right? Right now, inside of these dugouts is so crucial. I talked about this yesterday. It's like some of these teams, they're looking at the All-Star break and they're saying, you're telling me we're just now at the halfway point? We've got to play how many more fucking baseball games, right? Because they're getting their ass kicked and it's not fun. Whereas you got the other teams who are saying like, hey, guys, it's now or never. We got to turn this thing on. If I'm the Padres and I'm looking at this game, I know it's just past the middle part of the season, but I got to win it. You've got to win this fucking baseball game with your guy on the mound. You've got to win this baseball game. You've got to win this series. And you're giving me a reasonable price. Damn right I signed up for it. Let's go Padres money line.
Padres money line, my guy Dabby Cab. Some people call him a Texas Rangers fan. You ask him which team he likes more, he's going to tell you the San Diego Padres. Cab, we got to get you out here to SD one of these days with me and Moose and take you to a game, man. Shout out to you, though. Nick Pivetta, he says that price is – he's getting too good of a price on Nick Pivetta, their go-to guy right here. And this is a must-win game against a team that kind of screwed your future in a way by giving away their those high prospects in C.J. Abrams, James Wood and company. I mean, and then you got Mackenzie Gore on the mound. But, Jacob, let us know what you're on here in this game. Break it down for us.
Hey, I'll listen to you guys in the chat, man. I love you guys. I love the chat.
Appreciate you, Dabby Cab. We'll be talking soon. Have a good rest of your day.
Have a nice Sunday.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah, by the way, talking with Dabby said over the All-Star break, I put a unit on the Padres to make the playoffs at -115 because I mean, think about the competition, right? You have the Dodgers and the Padres, and the only competition you're asking about is the San Francisco Giants. I'm not sure if you've been watching the San Francisco Giants. I'm not really high on that baseball team whatsoever. Yeah. They just lost the last 2 games to the Blue Jays, but I think that the Padres, kind of like Dabby said, like they recognize they're playing the Nationals today. Like these are teams that they need to beat, and they're going to be getting Michael King back too, which is they've had a couple injuries that have hurt them in the beginning of the year. All right, but yeah, touching on this game today, it's probably one of the. I'm seeing you wearing that Nationals jersey. It's probably one of the better games on the board in my opinion. Like Dabby said, Nick Pivetta on the mound. I mean, this guy. Look at his last 4 starts. I mean, he's looked unreal this season. He's coming his last 2 starts, actually his last 4 starts. He's going his last 4 games. He's given up 1 earned run out of the last 4 games. He's now going 12 innings of scoreless baseball. That's against the Philadelphia Phillies. I would consider them to be a pretty damn good baseball team. The Arizona Diamondbacks, and now he gets to face the Nationals. This game actually already happened. We just saw it 4 weeks ago. Nick Pivetta, the final score of this baseball game is the exact same pitching matchup as 1-0 in favor of the Pod. Yeah, 1-0 in favor of the Padres. It was absolutely a pitcher's duel, and I think we're going to see the same thing again today. I took the first 5 under 4.5 runs. I got that at -128. It was actually the second bet I made yesterday. So I could touch on obviously Nick Pivetta, last 3 starts, he has a .49 ERA, a sub-1 WHIP, 12% swinging strike, 51.6% hard hit. He's faced 4, so he just saw the Nationals, but when Nick Pivetta really excels at is getting left-handed batters out. He has a .242 WOBA, a 1.01 WHIP, and what do we know about the Nationals? Abrams, Wood, a lot of big bats. They're all lefties. So he should be going out there doing fine. He already pitched 0 runs against them. On the other side, we have Mackenzie Gore. You can't say anything bad about Mackenzie Gore either. He's given up less than 3 earned runs in 9 out of his last 10 starts. The only start that he gave up more than 3 earned runs was against the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. At home this season, he has a 2.39 ERA. He also is better at getting left-handed batters out. And what do we know about the Padres? A lot of their better bats are these left-handed bats. That's touching on the pitchers. How about we touch on the Nationals? This is the worst team in the entire MLB in the last 30 days for right-handed pitchers. They're batting 141, a .202 on base percentage, a .417 WOBA, and a .464 expected WOBA. They're literally bottom 5 in nearly every offensive category versus right-handed pitchers. I think this game could be 1-0. for the full game. I didn't want to touch the bullpens. I think the bullpens are a little taxed, but I think we'll just see a pitcher's duel through 5.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jacob. I do have a play in this game. I'm going to let my guy Spoons take over right now, but yeah, that 1-0 game loss, I could see it happening too with both these pitchers on the mound. If we're being completely honest here, and we're seeing the total go from an 8, stay at an 8, 10 cents of movement towards the under. I saw -110. Now I'm seeing -120s pretty much across the board right now for this 8. So that's interesting as well. With both of these good pitchers on the mound, definitely think runs are going to come at a minimal today. So I agree with you on that spot. Spoons, before I break this game down, though, take it away. San Diego Padres, we got 2 of the better pitchers in baseball, in the National League and all of baseball right now. I love these 2 guys on the mound. What do you have to say?
Start with the market real quick. We have 62% of the tickets on the San Diego Padres, but 52% of the cash on the Washington Nationals. 94% of the tickets and money are on the under. The line hasn't really come off of that 8. It opened at an 8, and now it's more juice to the under. So they respect it a bit, but it's nothing that's moving the number. They think that's a crucial number there with that 8. Looks like everybody's in the lineup for the San Diego Padres. Tatis, Arias, Machado, Sheets, Bogarts, Merrill, Iglesias, Cronenworth, and Diaz. Same with the Washington Nationals, your big bats, Abrams, Wood, Garcia, Lowe, Called, DeYoung, all in the lineup today. So I don't think there's anybody out of the mix as far as pitchers go either. Looking at the bullpens, these teams should be able to use whoever they'd like to. The Padres have a game on deck in Florida and Miami, so they'll have to fly after this game, and the Nationals stay home. So maybe a small advantage there with the Washington Nationals on just the travel spot. But I think this is a Padres spot. It's definitely affordable, but I think the line's telling you that Mackenzie Gore is also going to pitch pretty well. He matches up good against this Padres team, used to play for the Padres. 2.66 xFIP versus lefties. That's a great number. And he doesn't give up a ton of power to righties either, 3.37 xFIP. So I think this is a guy that's going to pitch well. I like you guys' under in this game. I can't get there with the under, seeing that much money, that much tickets on it. It's not a spot that generally I want to be on, especially if the number hasn't really moved off a full number. I think that's telling you maybe somebody's getting hit. I don't think it's Nick Pivetta, but Washington did just see him. I could see him getting a few runs, but it's probably Mackenzie Gore. This is a guy that's been touched by the LA Dodgers, a team with some pretty good lefties as well. Maybe they're telling you that he's the one that gets hit, but it's not anything I'm going to have my money on.
And shout out to AM in the chat. He's been a Pub Sports Radio member for a while, but he just upgraded to gold. So shout out to you, my guy. You're going to be in those horse races every single Friday. I believe it's every single Wednesday and Friday. Be part of the giveaway. It's a good time at the end of the show after you cap the card and have a nice little horse race, whatever kind of race they usually run. So shout out to you. Shout out to my guy Kyle Kerms in the chat. He said sports scientist Jacob. He's got to get it going a little bit because he's got a Super Smash Bros. Tourney there. Shout out to my guy Jacob. He's going to be playing at the Philadelphia Civic Center, representing Team USA for Super Smash Bros. No, I'm kidding, but shout out to him for that. Guessing you play Super Smash Bros. Though, Jacob. So, oh no.
I mean, I played it when I went to church when I was a kid, but like, dude, I got mad because I would get smacked by. Fun story, fun fact actually. I went to the University of Delaware for my undergrad, and we have a esports team, and we have kids on scholarships to play Super Smash Bros. Like imagine that's your goal in life, to get a scholarship to college to play some video games.
Oh man, that's funny. That's like those kids that are getting drafted to play like the 2K sports or whatever, and they're like,
exactly. Like it's just nuts.
Like, what is this? Like, how is this real life? But shout out to them. Shout out to my guy Kyle Kerms doing big things over there on his channel. I watch the MLB show pretty much every single night over there at 9 p.m. Over here on the West Coast for me. So it's right when I'm starting to cap the card. So I cap the card pretty much with you guys over there on the Kyle Kerms channel. So shout out to them for all the work he does and for the support he shows here at Pub Sports Radio. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I see my guy BJ in there as well. Guys, this is a game that I do have a plan. I'm going to take the shot for a guy Am after I break this down, but I might be on an island here, guys, but I'm on the Nationals. I got him plus 110 last night. I'm on Mackenzie Gore. You guys know me. I love my guy Mackenzie Gore over there in the Washington Nationals. I mean, have I worn a jersey probably more than this Nationals jersey on this show? I don't think so. I think I wore my Angels jersey like once. So shout out to the Nationals, man. I got a lot of family out there in the DC area. That's why I'm a Commanders fan. And I think Nationals always have a special place in my heart. Not just because they made me good money this season. I've actually made some good money back in the Washington Nationals this year. This is one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball if you look at their record, but we've found some really good value with them along the way this season. I think it's another good spot. You got McGore on the mound. I wouldn't really say like a revenge spot. I mean, I'm sure he would love to be playing in San Diego rather than DC, if we're being completely honest. It's just weather-wise and all that stuff. But this guy's got to have taken that at least a little bit personal, made the trade for him, and now this guy's the ace. He's the all-star for the Washington Nationals. The Washington Nationals had 2 all-stars, and the Angels had 1. That's just crazy. But shout out to Mackenzie Gore, man. I like everything he's doing. He passes the eye test. He passes everything I want to see. Nick Pivetta, on the other hand, does the same thing. I like this guy on the mound as well. He's having a really good season. When the Padres signed this guy, my buddy didn't like it at all. He was pissed off that they signed him for a good amount of money. And it seems like not a lot of guys like Nick Pivetta, Slick Dick Pivetta, but shout out to him. He's having a good season this year. I'm on the Washington Nationals, though, guys. It's no secret here. This is a fishy line here. We've got 2 pitchers on the mound. I think Mackenzie Gore's better than Nick Pivetta. Who has the better order? It's not even close. It's the Padres. I just think this is the national spot here on a Sunday. I think Mackenzie Gore is going to go out there and ball. And shout out to my guy, Kyle Kerms, gifted 10 Pub Sports Radio memberships. Now I got to get the shot ready for you, my guy, to you and my guy AM over here. I know Kyle's probably over there laughing at his computer, being like, this guy's taking shots at 9 a.m. over there in California. What the hell is this guy doing? But shout out to you, my guy. Shout out to the Washington Nationals, plus 110. You can find a similar price at most books, plus 105 at some spots. But to me, this is a Washington Nationals spot. This is going to be my first official play I give out on the show. Shout out to you guys.
Can we sell Pub Sports Radio shot glasses? I think
I'm sure we can ask Jeff to hook that up. Yeah.
I think I think my guy TJ and I are gonna link up and go to a Nationals game before the season ends.
Oh,
I just moved an hour away from the stadium, so I gotta go down to see the ball club play.
Hell yeah. No, that's the kind of guy you want to go to a ball game with, Jacob, too. I'm sure you guys are gonna have some good seats there. Shout out to my guy TJ. Living out there in Virginia now. SoCal native out from where I'm from. Living in a small town out there in Virginia, though, raising the kids the right way. Shout out to everyone in the chat, though, especially Kyle Krams for gifting those 10 Pub Sports Radio memberships, guys. If you got a Pub Sports Radio membership, don't be afraid to return the favor here, guys. We're breaking down this entire MLB card for you guys, and the support means the world. Everyone has a play in this game. Spoons, were you official on this, or is this unofficial?
I'm not on this game. There's too much variance in this for me. I think it's priced about right.
Fair enough.
It's not for me, but best of luck to both of you on both sides. Somebody's going to get some money.
Yeah. 3 of us on 3 different plays today because Jacob's on the first 5 under 4.5. Dabby Cab's on the Padres full game, and I'm on the Nationals full game. Dabby Cab did say full game, right? Not first 5.
Yeah, he's on the Padres full game.
Sweet. So yeah, this is going to be a fun game, guys. I'm excited for it. But without further ado, we can move on to the next game on the board here, and that is going to be the Cincinnati Reds against the New York Metropolitans here. You got Abbott on the mound for Cincinnati, who's pitching lights out this season, guys. Look at this guy's numbers. They're going to tell you everything you need to know here. You got David Peterson on the other mound for the Mets, a late-night all-star addition to the roster after a couple guys got hurt. That was another surprising thing. To me, guys, the all-star game is a joke. How they elect these players is a joke. It doesn't make any sense to me. But without further ado, it's all good, though. Let's move on to this game, those Cincinnati Reds, New York Mets here. Let me just pull this up here. Let me pull this up. Reds currently sitting at a plus 122 on the money line, which is, when you got your best pitcher on the mound in Abbott, that's a little weird going against the New York Mets that are playing some good baseball. They're currently 11 games over 500. David Peterson, lefty, been pitching really good this season as well. They're currently sitting at a minus 132. We have a total of 8.5 juice to the under at minus 120. We've got the Reds team total at 3.5 juice to the over at minus 125, and the Mets team total 4.5 plus money plus 110. This is an interesting game right here, Spoons. And Jacob, I know you have a couple. Are you going to stick around for the next couple of games? Yeah, you're cool.
I'll probably sign out after the Royals game. I'll let you guys take the rest of the card.
You're all good, brother. Sweet. Sounds good. Just wanted to double check. But yeah, Spoon's taken away. We got Andrew Abbott on the mound, and this guy's 8-1 with an ERA, pretty much almost under 2 right now. Why is he an underdog against David Peterson and the New York Mets?
Well, the Mets are certainly in a spot where they need to start stacking wins. Divisional races are coming down, and this is a spot versus a Reds team that hasn't been that great in the season. David Peterson has been lights out. It doesn't really matter how you want to look at it. He's had a few bad games, but compared to where he was at a few seasons ago, this is not the pitcher I expected to see coming into the season. So both of these pitchers in a pitcher's ballpark now. We talk about Abbott with that amazing ERA. That's pitching in probably the third most offensive ballpark in all of baseball over there in Cincinnati. So I think his numbers play even better here at home. The Mets versus left-handed pitching over the last month is 27th in weighted runs created plus in baseball. So they're not exactly killing lefties. The Reds aren't much better on the full season. They're 22nd weighted runs created plus in baseball. So I think Peterson probably can pitch well. I think Abbott pitches well. I don't see a real big edge in this game. 73% of the tickets on the under, 66% of the cash on the under. It's opened at an 8.5. It's come down to a juiced 8, but you can still get 8.5s if you want it. Minus 160 opener, plus 135 on the opposite side. So there's definitely some real line movement towards the Cincinnati Reds. This is a team I was kind of leading to just because of Andrew Abbott on the mound. I think he presents a pretty good spot for them, but it's not anything I was able to get to last night. And now that that price is gone, I think this is probably more of a Mets spot. If we look at the Cincinnati bullpen, Emilio Pagan went on back-to-back days. Graham Ashcraft went on back-to-back days. That's their setup man and closer, and two really important arms that you're going to need available if you're going to try to get this win versus the New York Mets today. And without that, I see why the Mets are favored here, especially needing the win right now. They got to keep pace, and I think this is a spot where Edwin Diaz hasn't pitched since the All-Star break. Yeah, Garrett and Stanek went last night, but this is a really deep bullpen, and I think they find a way, even if Peterson does get hit for a couple runs, to keep this in a manageable spot where their bats can win. The big thing is, how long does Andrew Abbott pitch? And this is a guy that can go 7. He's already shown you on the season he can pitch a complete game. And I don't know, wanting to go the Reds with better value now that it's gone. I think maybe it's more affordable on the Mets, but it's just not enough for me. So I won't waste any more time.
I mean, Spoons, my question is, this line, what did this line open up as? An 8 minus 110. We're at an 8.5. minus 120 to the under with both these pitchers on the mound. Is it, I don't know if you touched on the weather, but is it supposed to be offensive weather today? Why is this going to an 8.5?
So it's modeled at minus 4% runs overall, plus 9% home runs. That plus 9% home runs comes from the wind. Let me get over there to Swish. We have 8.5 mile an hour winds blowing out towards right field. Temperatures in the 90s. So one thing about Citi Field being a pitcher's park and everything is during the early months of the season, it's a lot cooler over there in the Northeast. And when the temperatures start to pick up, all those parks like Fenway becomes more offensive. Citi does too, to a point, but there's a reason Ballpark Pal has it modeled towards the bottom of their chart today. And it's because it's just a park that it's hard to score a ton of runs in. You're going to have to try to get a couple of them by the long ball today, though.
Yeah, this is an interesting game here, Spoons. This is going to end up being a pass for me. The line is moving towards the Reds here right now, which makes the Mets a little bit more appealing here. It's going to end up being a pass for me. Jacob, take it away, my guy. I'm going to step away for 1 second, but take it away.
Yeah, I love how we're going back and forth on the Reds and the Mets. It was kind of a toss-up for me as well. I think both of these pitchers are going to be in for a good game. Like Spoon touched on, Peterson's looked pretty elite, especially at home this season. He's got a 2.11 ERA. And another thing that I like to note about David Peterson, I saw this stat a couple weeks ago, so I've been really watching him every time he pitches in his last few outings. But he's one of the best pitchers in the entire MLB first time through the order. He has his opposition batting just a 233 batting average. He has a sub-1 whip first time through the order. So this is a guy I usually like to back early in games. On the other side of the mound, you can't say anything bad about Andrew Abbott. He has a 2.07 ERA on the season, a 2.18 ERA on the road, and now we're not pitching Great American Ballpark. We're pitching in Citi Field here. It's just a much more pitcher-friendly ballpark. And a lot of times we now see the Mets are a very profitable under team, especially early in the first 3 and the first 5 this season. I think it's a lot because of that ballpark. It's very pitcher-friendly. It's very hard to score runs. So I split my units. I took the first 3 under 2.5, and I took the first 5 under 4.5. I think I got minus 115 on the first 3 under and minus 125 on the first 5. I think we're seeing this reminds me a lot of this the last game I talked about with Mackenzie Gore and Nick Pivetta. I think we have 2 teams that also just they struggle to hit lefties. The Mets haven't really hit any lefty beside Carlos Rodon before the break. David Peterson or left-handed starters versus the Reds. They got Jesus Luzardo and Crochet, but other than that, they've gotten 2 or less earned runs in 8 of their last 10 lefties they've seen. The only thing else I can add is Peterson's great versus lefties. He's got a sub-1 whip, and that's going to be Friedel. Ellie might bat from the right side with a switch, but a lot of the good bats in the Reds lineup are also lefties. So I think we'll see a pretty low-scoring game here.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on low-scoring game too. It was a little bit weird for me that it went to an 8.5 here in this spot. I'm going to end up passing on this game, guys. I want nothing to do with it. Got some good action here coming up here in these next couple games, though, guys. And shout out to everyone in the chat. We're at 107 likes, guys. We're more than halfway there to 200. Let's get to 200 likes so I can do that $50 giveaway to one lucky subscriber here at Pub Sports Radio. But let's move on to this next game. This is going to be our guy Jacob's, another one of his games here. Kansas City Royals against the Miami Marlins. I want to pull this up. Apologies. Royals currently sitting at a minus 155 with Bubich on the mound, the left-hander who's been pitching really well this year. You got Junk on the other hand, too. He's also been pitching well for the Marlins. I mean, it's crazy to see this Marlins team, guys, only 5 games under 500 at this point in the season, especially when you look at that current roster that they have, guys. They're doing some good things over there to get to where they are here. I know they had that big winning streak, but being at this point in the season, it's very surprisingly. I thought this was one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball coming into the season just because of all the young talent that they had in that lineup. I thought they were just a couple years away, which I still think they are, but they're learning how to win together as a collective group. And my guy Deacon Mike says, "Wine, if we hit 200 likes, you have to shave the rest of your hair out." Nah, I don't know about that. I do that 2 on the front and one on the side, guys, once a month, and that's good for me. You guys, I think I had my hair actually growing for 6 weeks. That was the longest I had in quite some time. But this is as short it's going to get, guys. I can't get it any shorter than that, or else I'm going to be bald. And I'm not bald. I can grow hair. I like the way this looks. I'm 30 years old. Rocked the same haircut since I was in 7th grade. What's that, 12 years old? 18 years now. So, yeah, I just rock it, man. Let's move on to this next game, though. This is an interesting one. The Royals are currently sitting here at a minus 115. The Marlins are at a plus 105. So we are seeing some slight movement, I want to say, towards the Marlins from when this line opened up. Yeah, this line opened up around a minus 130, minus 135 for the Royals. It's just continuously moving towards Junk and the Miami Marlins, which makes me think the Miami Marlins could be live in this ball game, Spoons. I'm going to start off with Jacob here in this spot because I know this is one of his plays today. So take it away, Jacob. We got Royals, Marlins.
Could I add to you real quick? Did anyone think that the Braves would be worse than the Marlins entering the season? It's just actually insane how good some people love the fish. They love betting the fish. Yeah, to touch on that, I'm making it official. I'm giving out all first 5 unders on this show today. I'm giving out 3 first 5 unders. There's do we really trust the Royals offense at this point in the season? I was on the Royals yesterday, and this team managed to score a single freaking run the entire game. Against my bad. It was Cal Quantrill pitching also. Let's just throw that out there. They made him look like it. I think Cal Quantrill went 6 innings for like the first time in ever. So yeah, we got Chris Bubik on the mound. We got the Royals ace on the mound. And then going up against Jansen Junk, who I think has pitched very, very well this season. I think he's actually better than most people would think. He's got the key thing to know here is his lefty-righty splits. Jansen Junk's got a 200 WOBA, a 0.8 whip versus right-handed bats, which the Royals, I think the Royals will rock like pretty much 7 of them, 8 of them. Somebody would have to fact check me on that. But yeah, like look at the right-handed pitchers facing the Royals. Like they've only gotten to Emerson Hancock and they got to Sandy. And like I feel Sandy's not the same Sandy he used to be, sadly. All his glory days are gone. And then Jansen Junk is now coming off 13 scoreless innings in his last 2 games against Baltimore and Cincinnati. And he gets to come face this Royals team that on the full season is the 4th worst lineup in WRC plus versus right-handed pitching. On the other side, this is the keynote. We have Chris Bubik's a lefty facing the Marlins. Bro, the Marlins are the worst team in the MLB in the last 30 days and the last 14 days at hitting left-handed pitching. The last 10 lefties to see the Marlins haven't gotten more than 1. Or no, they got 4 earned runs off Jesus Luzardo, 6 earned runs off of Mitchell Parker. Other than that, 2 off Gore and 1 off of everyone else. They can't hit a single lefty. So Bubik's, he hasn't looked he obviously started off the year looking like a freaking perennial all-star, like absolutely just like the best pitcher in the MLB. He has given up some runs in his last couple of starts, but I think this is the perfect game for him to come back and pitch a gem. So I think he'll be fine because he throws with his left hand.
All right, we've got my guy Jake. All right, let's go. I like to hear it, man. Spoons, take it away. Royals, Marlins.
Sandy Alcantara is still coming back from an injury. This guy's 29 years old. His glory days are not behind him.
Don't talk smack.
Do you think he'll ever be the same?
Yeah, I do.
It's crazy. Whenever I know when I cab this game, I still think I'm like, this is the game where he's gonna pitch well. It's crazy.
That's what we said. That was like
the first game after he gets traded for the Hall.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he goes out there. And he goes 7 innings.
Yeah, he'll probably start pitching a lot better, like a new environment. You know what I mean? New change of scenery. Get out of the Marlins organization.
But it's crazy. The Marlins organization. I mean, they're 500. It's crazy. Like
they're good.
Wild.
As a Phillies fan, I love that the Braves suck.
Shout out to them. Yeah, take it away, Spoons.
50% of the tickets have come in on the Miami Marlins, and 57% of the cash has come in on the Kansas City Royals. 88% of the tickets on the under, and 82% of the cash on the under. This game opened to 7.5 juice to the under, and it's right there still. I don't think there's been a ton of line movement. I guess maybe about 15 cents on some of these books towards the Miami Marlins. That's kind of a bit interesting to me. I look at the Marlins, and Jansen Junk has pitched really well to this point in the season. But if we look at this bullpen behind him, the closer and setup man both have pitched on back-to-back days, and Anthony Bender and Henriquez. Calvin Voucher pitched 21 pitches the day before and blew the save to the same lineup, so they don't really want to throw him out there again. And I asked myself, who's coming in for this Miami team? I have a lot of questions about that because Jansen Junk's not going to go more than 6 innings versus this Royals team. I would have a hard time believing he goes back-to-back games with 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. He's not a pitcher I hold at that esteem. I think he's really good, and I think working with a guy like Sandy really helps him. He's got a .8 whip versus righties on the season, and this Kansas City Royals lineup is filled with them, though. So there is a good recipe there for him to pitch to success. But on the other side, Chris Bubik, this guy matches up great with the Marlins. Over the last 30 days, they're last in baseball in WRC plus versus left-handed pitching. Kansas City Royals have a couple lefties in the bullpen ready to go as well. And Angel Zerpa, a guy that they've trusted to open games for him at this point in the season. And Sam Long. So Urseg pitched on back-to-back days. He's their setup man, will not be available in my opinion, but Estevez, their closer, will be. I think this is a spot where as the line moves to Miami, I'm getting more tempted towards this Royals side. I expect these bats to play better. I'm pretty close to it. One time, what do you think about this?
I don't know, Spoons is a tough matchup for me because when I'm looking at this game from afar, I'm seeing the Royals ace on the mound here against the Marlins. I still think people have a bias against the Miami Marlins, that they're not going to back them just because of that they are the Miami Marlins. And not a lot of people realize that Junk's actually been good this season. I'm kind of there with you guys on the under. Did move to a -115 from a -120 a couple minutes ago. So a little bit of slight movement towards the over in this one. I kind of want to move on the Marlins plus 100 here. I'm not going to lie. I think that Junk is going to go out there and pitch well, and he could pitch well against this Royals batting order. Both these teams have a pretty similar record, but it's still like I still think a lot more people are a lot more higher on the Royals this season than the Miami Marlins. It's going to end up being a pass for me. I don't think there's going to be a lot of runs scored in this game with these two offenses and with these two pitchers on the mound. So I would like to see this probably go back to a minus 120 at the 7.5 at the under, but it's going to end up being a pass for me. I've got a couple more plays coming up in these games, and it doesn't correlate enough for me. These are two really good pitchers that I trust, that I don't really want to be on the opposite sides of. I just think the line is a little bit fishy considering that they still are the Miami Marlins, but I'm going to end up staying away from this game, guys.
I'm not gonna lie. I had the Marlins plus 114 in my bet slip yesterday, but I decided I like the underway better. The being the worst lineup against lefties in the last 30 days just kept me off. I don't see where any runs are coming in this game. And the only thing that kept me off the full game over was the bullpen situation, like Ursay going. Both sides had some guys go in a very close game yesterday.
Yeah, and especially if these guys only do go 5 or 6 innings, the bullpens will. I'll have some questions on the bullpen, but it's going to end up being a pass for me, guys. I do have a play in this next ball game that we're going to talk about. But Jacob, appreciate you, my guy, for coming on and sharing your action, man. Always a blast doing this with you, my guy. You know, anytime you want to come on here, you're always welcome to. Chat loves you. We love you here at Pub Sports Radio, so we appreciate your support. Break us down your card for today, the plays that you broke down that you want to give out to us. Doesn't have to be the full card, whatever you want to do, that we'll make official here on the show. Yeah. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday, my guy. Let us know.
I'll let you guys know I'm on the Giants with you guys, and they just tied the game 1-1, so that's kind of nice. I'll just leave you guys with I'm on the I took the over in the Phillies game, 8.5 and minus 110. I'm getting these. I like what you guys said. Like the Angels bats are they're great in Citizens. We got Citizens Bank Park with plus 40% for home runs. I hope I see a Kyle Schwarber bomb today again. And I'll just leave you guys with we ran, the Nationals, Padres, first 5 under. I'm on the first 3 in the first 5 under in the Mets game, and I'm on the first 3 in the first 5 under in this Royals game. I'll also leave you with, I like the under. I took the under 7 in the Seattle Mariners game.
Okay.
When you guys get to that game.
Little AL West action right there from our guy Jacob over there on the East Coast, man. Shout out to you, Jacob, for coming on again, my friend. Plug your Twitter. Let the people know where they can find you. And we appreciate your hard work, my guy.
You guys can find my Twitter at SportsSideJacob. I always post my card there every day. And I think a great thing that also I'll just randomly tweet out fun stuff. Like people follow all these cappers, but we're all humans. And we're not like some business page where we're like, oh, okay, like here's my card. Like, no, like if Kyle Schwarber hits a home run, I'm tweeting that like Kyle Schwarber's the MVP. That dude just hit a dong. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I'll tweet fun stuff like that. But you can find me at SportsSideJacob. I always share my plays there. I'm active in the Kyle Kerms network here on Pub Sports Radio. There's a lot of great sharp people I've become friends with, and I like to always be around. So I'll leave you guys to cap the rest of the card. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you, Jacob. Have a good rest of your Sunday, my guy. Always good to have our guy, sports scientist Jacob. When you got a capper that looks at baseball similar to science, you got something right going there. So shout out to our guy, sports scientist Jacob. Good friend of the channel, and love watching him do what he's been doing on Twitter, giving out his plays, man. He's as sharp as they come, man. He really dives deep into these games too. So shout out to him. We can move on to my favorite game on the board right here, Spoons. I mean, I love this game right here. You know how much I love Jeffrey Springs, man. This guy, someone trade for this man. Man, this guy's been making a ton of cash for me this season in situations. I love Jeffrey Springs here. It seems like we talk about him every single Sunday. Probably looking at his pitcher log. He's probably pitching every single Sunday, it seems like. But shout out to him. Currently, right now, we have the the Sacramento Athletics. I want to pull this up. Athletics currently sitting 14 games under 500 against the Cleveland Guardians, 3 games under 500. Cleveland Guardians, man, they're 1 series away from a World Series appearance last year. And to see them take this much of a step back in the wrong direction isn't surprising when you look deep into their roster, guys. I mean, going into this year, I didn't think this team was deep by any means. They always have pitching. They always have good bullpen, but you also have to score runs. And this is a team that I don't trust to score any runs in a lot of these games, man. I don't like the bats in this order. I'm on the Athletics. I just want to give you guys the actual play that I tweeted out and made official because we have some really big live movement towards the other side here from what I'm seeing. Gave out the Athletics last night at a plus 120, guys. They're currently sitting at my same book that I gave it out at a minus 110. So this team goes from a plus 120 underdog to a minus 110 favorite. Being completely out of the AL West, this team isn't going to compete the rest of the season, but they are going to get some wins along the way. Like I said, like you can always find value with the Athletics, and especially in games like this where you see them as a slight dog or even a slight favorite against a much better team where everyone's going to hammer the other side. I haven't looked at the market and the percentages yet. Our guy Spoons will break that down. I have a feeling everyone's betting the Guardians. I mean, why? And if they're not, it'd be hard to believe. I don't know who would be backing the Athletics here, unless you've been backing Jeffrey Springs in all of his starts. I mean, this guy's been money in the bank. Looking at his record, 8-6, being on a team that's this bad. Pretty crazy, honestly. I'm on the A's plus 120. I've been riding this team in certain situations. This is one of my most profitable teams this year, which is crazy because they're nowhere near a playoff contention. But you can find value on these guys at certain times, and I usually like taking them at home in some games, but they are going to be on the road here. I've taken them already once in this series. I'm going to take them again. Crush this line move by 30 cents. Whatever happens in this game, Athletics lose 10-0, and I'll still be happy with it just because I know where I'm at in this game. Should be the right spot. We'll still see. We still have hours left until this game's even going to go off. So maybe the Athletics do go back to a dog, but I'm on the Athletics, Spoons. Do you have anything in this game?
Just looking at the market in this game, very interesting stuff. This line opened at an 8.5. It's down to a 7.5. It opened plus 120 to the Athletics. It moved to minus 108 Athletics. That's a 30-cent difference there on the Cleveland side as well, minus 134 to minus 104. I'm listing numbers from Circa's book here. And if you look at the percentages when the money came in and everything, Cleveland had all the tickets and all the money until around 9 o'clock this morning. And then some serious Athletics money started coming in, got slammed at around 11 o'clock. And at that point, it moved to a minus 102 at Circa. And that was 75% of the cash at that point had been on the Athletics. So that was a drastic change. But right after that, some money started to come in on Cleveland again, dropping the Athletics cash percentage down to 51%. And the line didn't care about that Cleveland money. It sat there and continued to make the Athletics the bigger favorite here. I really like your bet here. I was looking at the Athletics last night. I wanted to. Looking at some of the lineups, trying to figure out why some of this may have happened. Jacob Wilson is a guy that's been dealing with injury, so he's been day to day. I thought he was going to play yesterday coming into today, so it wasn't a huge surprise. And then on the Cleveland Guardians side, do you have no Kwan? It's a pretty big bat at the top of their lineup. So it's just Martinez, Fry, Ramirez, Santana, Nolan Jones, Jonathan Rodriguez, Will Wilson, Austin Hedges, and Brian Rocchio. So that's definitely not a great lineup by any means. There's nobody that's going to kill a lefty like Jeffrey Springs in here. Cleveland's one of the worst lineups versus lefties. It makes a ton of sense to back the Athletics here for me. You had Butler, Wilson, Kurtz, Rook, Langoliers, Soderstrom, Urshela. Like, the bats go to the Athletics. I think the pitching advantage goes to the Athletics here too. Bullpens are pretty in a good shape here. Either team could use whoever they want. One of the best closer arms in baseball, Mason Miller, is there available. So I wish I got on the Athletics last night. That's a great bet. I don't think I can get there now just after all that movement, but great bet. Really interesting market. The total too coming down with the it's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting for sure. I mean, you look at both these batting orders. I mean, when I compare these two Spoons, I don't know if there's much of a difference. Like, I like the top four guys over in Oakland more than I like the top four guys over there in Cleveland. I like Springs better than I like Gavin Williams. That's might be also biased, guys. I've made some really good cash on Springs this year, so it might be a little biased, but I don't like this Guardians team. I don't like what they're doing at the plate. I don't like their approach. They're not making any adjustments. It seems like they've got Jose Ramirez. It's pretty much you're hoping that he comes on with a couple runners on base and gets a clutch time hit. Stephen Kwan, I mean, Don't get me wrong. He's still a good bat in that order, but outside those two guys, there's not too much in there that I really like. Shout out to my guy, MMA Locker Room. I meant to reach out to my guy, Mills, actually. Mills, if you ever want to come out and give out an MLB play on walk-off wagers, I meant to DM you last night and I forgot to, but more than welcome to come on. I saw that he said that it was a loaded card earlier. And he also just said, I saw a rainbow. Now it's a bag of Skittles. So shout out to you. Coin Cleveland 6 and 9 in their order is ridiculous. It's disgusting, man. Don't like it. I love seeing my guy Razor Sharp Picks. Shout out to Razor Sharp Picks in the chat. Also reach out to you as well, Razor. Anytime you want to come on the show and give out a play, would love to have you, my guy. He's been a member for 20 months here. He says, I got Oakland plus 11, and now they're minus 115. Shout out to you, Razor. I'm sure you got that either late last night or early this morning. I got in last night on the Athletics, so I'm right there with you. Love to see that, my guy. So I'm official on this. Spoons, nothing official for you in this game, just to double check.
I just don't want to get in on the butt end of the line here. It doesn't make sense to me to do that in the long run. It's not going to pay off. I certainly couldn't get there with Gavin Williams, a guy that's got a 1.8 whip versus righties, and it's going to see 7 of them in this lineup here today. I don't know. It's a great bet on that Oakland side. If maybe I might look to live bet this if they strike out or get through the first inning and don't score a run before the start of that second inning. I'll post it on Twitter if I do it, because then I could get some of that juice back that I lost there. Yeah,
I agree. Shout out to Vinny Hawkins in the chat. Shout out to my guy Blank Discretions and my man Spoon. Shout out to Deacon Mike. Everyone out there, man. Appreciate the love you guys are showing, man. As of right now, we have, let's see how many people we have got 172 people in the chat. We've got 123 likes, guys. 77 likes away from 200. We still got some games to talk about. So we're still a long ways from there. And even if we get to 200 after the show, I'll do something as well. So would like to have it before we talk about the Sunday night baseball game, but I know it could be tough, but please be sure to share the video on Twitter, share it to your friends. Somebody hit the like button. We're giving away a $50 giveaway after 200 likes. We are going to move on to this next game now here with another high total on the board, obviously, because we are in Coors Field here. I was on the over 11 in game 1, got to 10 in the 7th inning. They weren't able to get another run across the board, ended up losing that bet on Friday. Looking at this game here, we've got the Minnesota Twins sitting 47-51. Against the Colorado Rockies, one of the worst teams we'll see in baseball maybe ever, especially this lineup, just absolutely disgusting. We have a line that opened up at 11, though. Juice the under at minus 120. We're down to a 10.5 at probably a minus 110, minus 115, depending on where you look here in this spot. You've got Joe Ryan, the all-star here, going for the Minnesota Twins. Man, this guy is a stud. Like everything he's doing over there in Minnesota. It's going to be interesting to see the Twins try to maybe see if they can get something for this guy. I don't think the Twins are going to compete this season, Spoons. I don't think they're going to be able to make a playoff run unless they did what they did for that run where they won like 15 straight games. But even then, it's just I don't think this team is a playoff bound by any means. I wasn't high on this team going into them. I do like Joey Ryan, though. Like Herman Marquez at times, too, which is kind of wild to say, but I wouldn't back Herman Marquez here. I would not back the Rockies by any means here in this spot. I think we're seeing the Twins here at a minus 244 reason, not only because the Rockies are one of the worst teams in the league. I just think Joe Ryan's going to go out there and could completely dominate this lineup. It is interesting, though, because we have such a high total with Joe Ryan on the mound. Really curious to hear about the ballpark weather report here in Coors Field to see if maybe both these pitchers are vulnerable to give up runs just because of the weather. You know, Joe Ryan, not really used to pitching in Coors Field. You're going to have to break it down for me, Spoons. How many games has he pitched in Coors Field? I'm not too sure. It's hard to pitch here, though, guys. And Herman Marquez can tell you firsthand because look at his stats. And they'll tell you everything you need to know. It's a hard place to pitch. Take it away, Spoons. Minnesota Twins, Joe Ryan against Herman Marquez of the Colorado Rockies at Coors Field in Colorado.
Yeah, shout out my guy Toast over there on the Kyle Kerms Network. He was looking at that, and he's pitched there once before. I think he gave up 4 earned runs. Not a great start by his standards by any mean, but it's Coors, so you chalk that up to a lot. And this is a pitcher that's really adapted over the past few seasons. He's had more breaking stuff, doesn't play as well at Coors, but he still just has that dominant fastball. And adding the breaking stuff in, it it keeps the hitters on their toes. You can't just load up on that fastball the way you could in some of his bad starts his rookie season. It's reflected. This guy's got a whip under 1 to both sides of the plate, 0.99 to lefties and 0.85 to righties. There's not a lot of bats that you're scared about over here on the Colorado Rockies. They got a nice rookie there, Tyler Freeman or Hunter Goodman. Outside of that, this lineup offers a lot to be desired. Yeah. And the Twins have not been hitting the ball the way a lot of their fans were hoping they would this season. It looks like all their bats are in the lineup. You have Buxton, Castro, Larnach, Correa, Wallner, Cody Clemens, Lewis, Bader, and Vasquez. I think the play on this game would have been the under 11 you could have got last night. You had to pay a little bit of juice. Most places minus 120. Circa opened this up at 11 over plus 111 under minus 120. Then they moved down to a 10.5 minus 110 each way, about 9:17 this morning. And now at just recently, they moved it down even further, 5 more cents off of it. It's now minus 115 to the 10.5 under. So I think that's a clear move by one of the sharpest books, telling you that there's not going to be a lot of runs in this game. German Marquez is a guy that knows how to pitch in Coors Field. He's been here for a while now. He has been hit up by some teams, but I think the Twins could score 7 runs and still get this under in this game. So I think this is a clear under spot. I'd rather have the 11, not the 10.5, but I'm not going to move on it.
Yeah, it's a pass for me too, Spoons.
80% of the tickets on Minnesota. No surprise there. Only 67% of the money. And with this move to the under has been 50% of the tickets on the over and 67% of the cash to the over. So they're getting some clear signs from accounts they respect more than the majority of the money, telling them to go under. And I respect that.
Yeah, shout out to our guy, Sir Mackie Loves Pie. He said it's raining here in Queens. Gonna go take a quick shower. Shout out to you, my guy. I've never showered out in public, but shout out to you, my guy. And I'm sure it's hot out there in Queens too, even though it's pouring rain down there. So shout out to you, my guy, Sir Mackie Loves Pie. Shout out to my guy, Sports Scientist Jacob said I need to go out to the West Coast to visit the guys out there. Yes, you do. Preferably, you can come at any time of the year, my guy. Summertime, I mean, it's always nice weather out here, but anytime you're gonna come out here, Jacob, you know I got you. I'll pick you up from the airport, and we'll go get some good food and have some good vibes. So shout out to you, my guy. That goes for all the homies in the chat, man. If you're ever gonna make a trip out here to SoCal and see your guy Wine Time, you know I'll take care of you. See my guy Daniel Vincent there said, is Toast in the chat right now, Spoons?
No, I gave him a shout out, so people are just
okay. Well, shout out to our guy Toast over there on the Kyle Kerms Network as well, doing a great job hosting it as well, doing the co-hosting. But we can move on to this next game. All right, man. I know Jose is out and about right now, so he's not going to unfortunately be able to come on screen. But, man, what an interesting series this has become, Spoons. Love this game right here. We got Garrett Crochet on the mound of the Boston Red Sox. I can't believe this Boston Red Sox team right now, Spoons. This team is firing on all levels. Shout out to my guy Jose. I threw a lot of shade at the Red Sox a couple weeks ago. And, as of right now, I was wrong. I thought that team was heading in the wrong direction. Ended up heading in the right direction going into the second half of the season, although they did have some easy cupcake games, but you still have to win a ball game. It's hard to win baseball games. I mean, ask the Angels. They can't beat anybody under 500. You got to beat those teams if you want to make a playoff run, and that's what the Red Sox are doing. They've been hanging tough in this series as well. We got Garrett Crochet on the mound. He's a favorite here against Cade Horton. The Chicago Cubs team can't say enough good things about this team here being, 20 games over 500 at this point in the season. I was high on them going into this year. When I looked at this batting order, I said this is one of the deepest 1 through 9 batting orders you'll see in all across baseball. I like what they did in the offseason, but they are going against a really good pitcher over there in Garrett Crochet, a really good lefty. You got Cade Horton on the mound here for you for the Chicago Cubs, who's also been pitching pretty well. And I wouldn't even say that this line ain't fishy. You know what I mean? You got Garrett Crochet on the mound. There's a favorite for a reason. But at the same time, I kind of want to move on the Cubs here in this spot. Extremely tough game here for me, Spoons. Take it away, my guy. Boston Red Sox, Chicago Cubs. I'm going to step away for 1 second.
Yeah, this game, interesting pitching matchup between Crochet and Horton. Minus 18% runs overall modeled at Ballpark Pal for Wrigley Field today. Wind blowing in. So it's minus 22% home runs and minus 16% doubles and triples. The the wind is blowing in. Just going to update my numbers because it changes a lot at Wrigley. I'm still seeing 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing in directly from center towards home plate. So it's going to affect both sides of the plate evenly. We also have some chance for precipitation in today's game. It gets up to around 20% during the 3 o'clock hour. So there's a chance that bullpens will have to work a little bit harder. I think that might be part of the reason that you can get the Red Sox so cheap in a pitching matchup where you have a Cy Young candidate on one side and a rookie pitcher that's really leaving a lot to be desired out there on the mound. I'm on the Red Sox minus 135. I paid for it last night. Garrett Crochet's got a .75 whip versus lefties on the season, a 2.2 xFIP, and to righties a 1.09 and a 2.68 xFIP. Those are very elite numbers. As a left-hander, he just is great at getting lefty bats out, and that's a lot of the big names for the Chicago Cubs. We look at it today. My guy Nico Horner is leading off. I wish they would do this more often, especially versus lefties, because he's really good at getting on base versus lefties. But you have Kyle Tucker hitting from the left-hand side, Pete Crow Armstrong hitting from the left-hand side, and they don't even put Bush in the lineup versus lefties because he's so poor at hitting, and he's a really important bat for them at this point in the season. So you're not getting a really good matchup for the Cubs when you face an elite lefty. And I think Garrett Crochet is an elite lefty at this point. On the opposite side, Kate Horton, he gets touched by both sides of the plate. Duran, Roman Anthony, Yoshida, Abreu, Marcelo Meyer, all hitting from the left-hand side. Definitely going to give him some issues there. And I just think this is a really good spot for Boston to get the win. Bregman not being in the lineup is part of the reason you get a little bit of line movement here. It's opened up at a minus 135. Some of the public books have it even more than that now, minus 138. But some of the sharper books will give you a better line on both sides of the coin now, minus 130 and plus 120. So they're just inviting action on this game. I texted my guy Stacks last night. I was looking at lines, and Bet Rivers was sleeping on this. They were hanging at 8. I looked around all my books. I could not get an 8. I just thought that offered a great opportunity. Some books have 6.5s out there now. Wind blowing in at Wrigley. It's hard to score runs. I think it's going to be easier to score them off Horton than it will Crochet. Boston is currently leading the last wild card spot. Not leading the wild card, but they're third in the wild card. So they'll get a playoff spot right now. All these wins are really important. The Yankees are just a couple games ahead of them coming down the stretch here. I really expect them to lock in, and they're not going to waste any Garrett Crochet starts, especially when you don't have to put them against the other team's stud. This is a spot. I think it's just great value.
So what's your official play here, Spoons?
Boston Red Sox minus 135.
Wow. Shout out to Spoons Bets. He's on the Boston Red Sox minus 135 here in this matchup against the Chicago Cubs.
Cubs got the win yesterday. I was on them with the -1 plus money, and they've had to use a lot of their arms in this series already. So Boston's going to get a second look at them after Cade Horton's out of here. I don't mind betting against the Cubs. I think there's a lot of opportunities to do it, and Cade Horton offers a lot of those to me.
Yeah, I like it, man. Red Sox avoiding the sweep here after coming off a big winning streak, losing 2 games to one of the better teams in all of baseball. Now their best pitcher is going to go out there and Garrett Crochet, so I like it for sure. Stacks that I was mad. I missed the 8 when Spoon texted me. We made 7.5, and Boston plus 165. Same game parlay. Shout out to my guy Justin McKelvey. Stacks right there. Good to see you, my guy. I appreciate you for showing out as always, my friend. It's going to be a pass for me, Spoons. I want nothing to do with this game. This is a good ball game to watch from a fan standpoint. If I was a fan of either of these teams, this is going to be a really exciting matchup. Really fun from both sides, but not enough value for me to actually move on here. I don't want to fade the Cubs. I don't fade the Cubs too often, and I'm not going to do it here. But I do think that if I had gun to head in this spot, I would be on probably the Boston Red Sox with you after hearing that breakdown. But we can move on to an AL West showdown here let me pull this up, in Seattle, Washington, man. We've got the Seattle Mariners here coming in 53-45 against the Houston Astros, 56-42. Astros also lost 4 of the last 5 games. Mariners playing some really good ball coming out of the All-Star break and going into the All-Star break. Shout out to my guy Guillermo Sertucci in the chat. my guy right there, my SoCal brother. Shout out to you. I got to kick it with G. I probably kicked it with G. Probably more than most people in the pub sports. I've kicked it with him one time in Santa Anita and twice in San Antonio. Same with Jimmy. So I think I've hung out with my guy Guillermo just as much as Jimmy the Bag. So shout out to Guillermo. Great human being, great capper. Shout out to him. For this game right here, you got Brian Wu on the mound for the Seattle Mariners here. This guy's having a really good season against Hunter Brown. I said this guy's one of the best pitchers in the American League a couple weeks ago. Definitely had some last couple starts. Been a little rough for him. Inflated his ERA a little bit. I mean, it's still 2.43. But this guy's got amazing stuff. This guy's a gamer. He's a winner. You look at Brian Wu, same thing. These are two really good pitchers on the mound here, Spoons, which is, I think, why we're seeing the total being where it's at here in this game. Opened up at a 7. We are now at a 6.5, -110 both ways. Although the Astros team total is only 2.5, juicy over at -145. Got the Astros sitting as the dog. Is there some line movement here in this, Spoons? When I capped this yesterday, I could have sworn that this was a lot more closer. I thought that the Astros were maybe a -110, -105, and the Mariners were underdogs. Mariners are now -137. This is a clear-cut move towards the Seattle Mariners. This was a spot I wanted to move on yesterday when I originally capped this game. When it was starting to move towards the Mariners, I saw the line movement. I was like, wow, I do think the Mariners are probably going to end up being the favorite. Didn't correlate enough for me to actually move on it last night. Now looking at it today, I'm kind of hitting myself a little bit because I wish I would have moved on them at a better number here rather than -137. And I don't really want to lay a -1 here. I did lay a -1 on this card, something I haven't been doing as much over the last month or two. I've just been kind of sticking with my money lines, haven't been doing the -1s, but I am on a -1 later on, and I couldn't get there with the Mariners at -1 here. I do think that they're the side here. I think the Mariners are playing some really good baseball right now. I mean, you've got guys like Cal Raleigh. I mean, this guy you can't say enough good things about this guy. Goes into the All-Star break, tying the record for most home runs at the break, goes out there, wins the home run derby with his dad pitching to him, his brother behind the plate. Then you got guys like Julio Rodriguez and J.P. Crawford, guys I don't like, but they're still good ball players out there. And you got guys like Randy Arozarena. When he wants to play baseball, I mean, when he wants to go up there and swing it, he can swing it better than anyone. It's crazy when he actually wants to go out there and play and compete. Sometimes he just looks out there. I just feel like he doesn't want to play ball. But when he does, he's on, man. And the Mariners are playing some really good baseball right now, and I don't want to get in front of them by any means here just because the Astros are underdogs with Hunter Brown on the mound. That's weird. This is all weird, Spoons. I'm not sure what's going on here. The only play for me here would be the Seattle Mariners on the money line or the -1 just because the money line's a little inflated here, nearly at -140. I'm not going to move on that. Shout out to my guy Moose Money in there, Hawaii money line. Chang has his team at Hawaii and Stanford. Andrew Luck is the GM, which is the only nice thing I can say about them. I did look at that game a little bit, Moose. I didn't cap it too much, but that is an interesting spot. I believe that game, is that on the island or is that in Stanford? But we don't have to get to it because that's college football. But Spoons, take this game over. Hunter Brown against Brian Wu, two really good promising pitchers in the AL West and two teams that one of these teams are going to be in the playoffs. Maybe both of them. We'll see. But one of these two teams will be there.
Yeah, definitely interesting line movement. This game opened as a pick'em most places, -107 and -105 on Circa. It is now -140 Seattle on Circa and +126 Houston. So that's a ton of movement. Seattle got hammered immediately, and it's just continued to go that way. There's been some really big bats at the top of that lineup, and Pena and Alvarez. That's already been baked into the line when it was open, though. I think this is a spot where everybody's kind of looking at Hunter Brown recently. On the season, his numbers look pretty good versus lefties, a .99 whip and .295 xFIP. But if we look at some of the teams that have hit him up recently, the Cleveland Guardians have a bunch of good hitting lefties. Texas has their best bats are lefties. And earlier in the season, Tampa Bay got to him when Brandon Lau was healthy, some really good lefties in that lineup. And I circle in on that because Seattle's best bats are lefties in J.P. Crawford, Cal Raleigh, Luke Raley, Jorge Polanco, Dominic Canzone, the rookie, Cole Young. They're going to have a lot of lefties in the order to give Hunter Brown some issues. And packed in between that, you got Julio Rodriguez and Randy Arozarena hitting from the right-hand side. So he can't just really get comfortable throwing to only lefties either. So I think this line is telling you that Hunter Brown is susceptible to get hit again. On the opposite side, we have Brian Wu. This guy just going through it. His last time out there, took a no-hit bid, through 7 innings, pitched a great game, watched his bullpen blow a 5-run lead, and pretty tough for him. And on top of it, his grandfather passed away that night. He knew he was sick, and that was probably going to happen. So I had to go through all of that, and he's not going to miss a start or anything. He's still on regular rest. This guy's really a workhorse. He's never had a bad scouting report on him. I think there's a spot where he pitches well. The books are telling you it. I can't do it. I feel the same way I did about the Athletics. This is a spot I had circled. It was in my bet slip. I was kind of going back and forth. Had a 3-0 day yesterday, so I wasn't just trying to fire away and give anything back, but really kicking myself for not moving on these two. I can't get in on the butt end of the line. I still don't think this represents value for Houston, but the books are now getting what they want. The ticket percentage is coming back towards Houston a little bit, but the money's still staying over there with Seattle. So that means the big sharp bets, the people that matter, are they have their money on Seattle, and they got a better price than I did. So I am not going to get on this point.
I'm right there with you, Spoons. You guys heard it first. We could have gotten the line. What we got last night probably would have moved on it, but it moved for a reason. We're too late for the action. We're not going to just chase it at this point. I'm not going to chase it, and Spoons isn't going to chase it. So we'll end up staying off of this game, but we both have a lean towards the Mariners. It seems like the play here in this spot. It's going to end up being a pass for me.
Shout out Jacob. I think he snagged a under 7 -130 last night. You'd have to pay like at least -150 to get that now. So it's a little too juiced for me. I'm not trying to play super juiced totals at this point in the season, but that 7 in T-Mobile is a very significant number. This is one of the hardest parks to hit in, and this Astros lineup is leaving a lot to be desired towards the bottom end without their good bats there.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Moose. I want to touch on it one more time. He said Hawaii is going to be hyped, having beat a Power 4 team in post-COVID era, and there's hype around the program. Hawaii surprised this year. I thought Hawaii surprised a little bit last year too, even when they played UCLA in that home opener. They actually looked pretty decent. They got some good ball hawks over there in that secondary too. At least last year, I haven't broken down Hawaii, but I mean, any team that goes to the island, guys, if you haven't been to Oahu, you're going to be starstruck when you get there, because it's the most beautiful place I've ever been in my life. And I'm sure the guys, yeah, you're good. And I'm sure the guys over there in Stanford are going to be really hyped to play there, play on the island in that perfect weather, in that kind of environment. And that stadium is I think 10 to 15,000. That's college football. We'll get into the next one. But shout out to everyone. Hit the like button, guys. We are currently sitting at 141 likes plus right now. We have 153 people in here watching us, guys. Like I said, when we get to those 200 likes, we're going to do a $50 giveaway. So please hit the like button and share the video. But without further ado, we are going to move on to our next game. Take your time, Spoons. No rush at all, because I've got a play here in this next ball game. Got the Milwaukee Brewers, Jose Quintana on the mound. The journeyman. I thought this guy's career was over in Anaheim, 3 or 4 years ago, it seemed like. He's came back to life here these last couple of years. He's been pitching really well. He's been pitching himself into contracts year in and year out. He goes out there and he plays well, man. I like Jose Quintana. You got Clayton Kershaw on the other side. Got to appear in the All-Star game, had some fun out there. Although I did think it was a little weird that he got the nod and Verlander and Scherzer didn't, because I'm not sure how much longer those guys are going to be around either. But I was surprised that it was just Kershaw that got the nod, but went out there, faced a couple batters. He was throwing some cheese out there too. Just leaving stuff over the plate and got lucky on a couple swings. But Clayton Kershaw has definitely pitched well this year, considerably his age and him coming off that injury. Kershaw, I mean, what can you say? This guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's one of the best to ever do it in LA. He's been there his whole career, and he has had some injuries along the way, but this guy has won some big time ball games when it matters most. Maybe not so much in the playoffs like years ago, but still really good for that franchise. I'm on the Brewers here, Spoons. I gave out the money line yesterday on Twitter and played it at the number. I want to just give this out before I give out a false number. It's just quick for me to find it right here. Let's go. We are on the Brewers money line plus 140. Get probably a better number right now, actually, a plus 145 at some books right now. I like Quintana here against Kershaw. I like the Brewers here in this spot. it's crazy. You look at the Milwaukee Brewers, you look at the LA Dodgers, and they pretty much have the same exact record at this point in the season. You look at the payroll from the Dodgers, it's not even close to how much they crush this Brewers team. But yet this Brewers team just goes out every single year in and year out, and competes with the talent that they have on that roster, with the personnel that they're given on that payroll that they're given. It's not a big payroll. You look at that, or you look at that batting order. You look at these two batting orders, man. It's light and day at who's better. But yet these Brewers just find ways to win when it matters most, which is why they're currently sitting where they are here in the NL standings. I like the Brewers here. I think you're going to give me a plus 140 against the Dodgers against Clayton Kershaw. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the Milwaukee Brewers here, money line plus 140. I'd like to see the line go a little bit more towards my way. It was last night, and then I woke up this morning back up to a plus 145. Hasn't really moved since then. Plus 143 right now, depending on where you're looking at. But I'm on the Brewers here, plus 140. I tweeted out yesterday. I think we're getting some really good value on the plus money here against the Dodgers. I think these teams match up well against each other. And I think Quintana can go out there and give me a solid 5, 6, 7 innings out there, probably 5 or 6, probably not 7 innings. I don't want to see him in the 7th inning. But with that being said, I'm on the Brewers here at plus 140.
Yeah, that U-shaped movement, I think sort of significant. If you weren't on the Brewers, I think I'd strongly consider a -1 for this LA Dodgers team. I think when it starts to move towards Milwaukee in the middle of the night, that's more public money. And then the big hit that forces the U-shaped movement comes in the morning today. And I think that's significant. I think the sharps are telling you that these pitchers just faced each other, and one of these pitchers is more susceptible to give up runs the second time. And I believe that's Jose Quintana. This is a guy went out at home, pitched 6 innings, just 1 earned run on 2 hits versus this Dodgers team. But a significant thing you'll see there is 4 walks, and that means he was trying to pitch around some of these big Dodger bats. And they have some really hard-hitting lefties and some really good righties in this team. Max Muncy's out, I know that. But Quintana's 5.08 xFIP versus righties, I think comes into play here. I don't think you can silence this lineup twice. If you're putting 4 runners on base via the walk, the Dodgers are going to make you pay for that. Especially here at home. This is a place they played a lot better. They swung their bats better. On the full season, they're first in baseball WRC plus at home versus left-handed pitching on the full season. They're 5th WRC plus in baseball. And recently, they haven't been swinging as well. But baseball's a long season, and there's ups and downs, and you have regression. You don't get to be the number 1 team at home by a couple fluke games. That's from a lot of data at this point in the season. I expect Quintana to give up some runs here. Kershaw just pitched really well versus this Milwaukee lineup as well. 6 innings pitched, just 2 earned runs. Did give up 6 hits, but I think if one of these guys, they're both veterans, but if one of them's got a better pitch mix to be able to handle the other lineup, I think it's Kershaw. Crafty lefty. This is a guy just elite at getting other lefties out. 1.05 whip on the season versus them, and that's a lot of the big bats for this Milwaukee team. So I had a lean there with the Dodgers -1, but I'm not going to try to get in front of wine time.
No, I mean, when I capped this game yesterday, so the Brewers are they 5-0 against the Dodgers this year? What's their record here?
We'd have to ask Trevor. I'm sure he's screaming if he heard that question. I don't think they have a loss. If they do, it's just 1.
I think it's 5-0. They're going for 6-0 here. I don't know, Spoons. I mean, Jose Quintana against Clayton Kershaw. I don't know. It's who do I like better here in this spot? It's going to be Quintana. I mean, what bats do I like better? It's not even close. It's the Dodgers. I just think that Brewers are going to find a way to win this team that doesn't have a big payroll. You know what I mean? Small market out there in Milwaukee against the big market in LA. I just think they have a lot more heart than those guys over there in LA. It's crazy looking at these games right here, Spoons. Boston, Chicago, Houston, Seattle, Brewers, Dodgers, Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Tigers, Rangers. This is an all-star lineup right here. I mean, this is a great lineup of ball games here that we're going to be blessed to watch at the 1 p.m. start. Any of these games could have been the Sunday night baseball. Probably the Cubs and Dodgers aren't there because they've got 90% of the Sunday night baseball games. That's probably why we're seeing Scooble here against the Rangers. But we've got so many good ball games today, man. shout out to the MLB for doing this, giving us this weekend right after the All-Star break. We got some really good games, games that mean a lot to all these teams too. Anything else you have to say about this one, Spoons?
I mean, just with that, the Sunday night baseball game, we had a great pitching matchup, Skubal versus Eovaldi, and we got robbed of it. And we're going to have all these early games cramped together. It's a shame we can't make an adjustment, even from one of these later 4:00 games, and even just do a doubleheader and leave that Tigers game there the same and make one of those a Sunday night baseball game, sort of standalone stylish. But it is what it is. You can't predict injuries, late back tightness scratch for Eovaldi there. Definitely a shame. Is what it is. Mookie Betts is confirmed in the lineup for the LA Dodgers. There's a little bit of question after yesterday with that. So that's an important note. Probably should put out there. They do have their A squad.
All righty. It's going to be a pasture spoon. That's going to be the Brewers plus 140 for me. I don't give out a lot of plus 140s. If you look back at my action, usually my dogs are around the plus 110 to plus 130. Plus 140 is usually a little bit out of my range for higher ROI. So we'll see. This is going to be a good game, though. I'm just going to take the plus money, even if the Brewers don't do it. I was on the Brewers in all three of those games when they swept them earlier in the season in Milwaukee. So I like this spot for the Brewers. I'm going to end up backing them again. Let's move on to our next game. We've only got 2 games left on the card, guys. Appreciate you guys for showing out. We're going on 2 hours right now, so appreciate everyone that's been here. Hit the like button. We are almost done. We are going to talk about the St. Louis Cardinals here against the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2 teams that are, right then they're right there in their division in the wild card race. Both these teams are right there, right around 500. They've kind of been around this mark all season long. We know the Diamondbacks. I mean, it seems like they get 2 games over 500, 2 games under 500. They fluctuate between those 2 spots. Here, they're sitting at 49 and 50. Cardinals 3 games over 500. Diamondbacks line opened up last night, I think, on minus 135. I ended up moving on the -1 at plus 110. You can't get that number now. You could probably get a similar one, but currently the Diamondbacks are sitting as a minus 150 favorite on the money line, plus 135 on the run line at minus 1.5. We've got a total here sitting at 9. A little bit juice to the under at minus 115 here in this spot. Moved on my Diamondbacks, guys. You guys know how much I like this Diamondbacks team this year. Ketel Marte, I don't think he's going to be in the lineup for this one. I know he's been out due to, his house got broken into, which is so sad to hear when him and his family were at the All-Star game.
He's going to be in this game. I saw a recent report.
He
should be playing today.
And he should be pissed off too, man. Ketel Marte's had a couple negative things happen to him this season. And going into the season, still not a lot of people knew enough about Ketel Marte. I feel like this guy's one of the best players in all of baseball. This is the kind of guy you want in your dugout around the young guys. This guy does everything the right way by taking care of his body in the cage consistently. This guy does everything the right way. Just a class act on and off the field. And we've seen some negative things happen to him. His house got broken into when him and his family were enjoying themselves at the All-Star game. Hate to see that happen to these stars, man. I don't know why that's happening, but he had to take care of some business back home. Like my guy Spoon said, he should be back in the lineup today, which is what I want to see. That's their best player on this team. Not just the best player on this team, one of the best players in the National League and the whole MLB, man. I love Ketel Marte. Can't say enough good things about him. You got Merrill Kelly on the mound, the ace for the Arizona Diamondbacks. This guy's been pitching well this year. I like Merrill Kelly. It's crazy. How old is Merrill Kelly right now? Is he in his what is he, like 33, 34 Spoons?
I can check on that for you real quick.
Which is kind of crazy. When I see Merrill Kelly, I don't think of him as a like in his 30s. I still think of him like a 27, 28, probably because he went overseas for a little bit.
36.
Wow. I would have guessed like 28, 29 just by like looking from the outside in, but he's been around for a while. He's still got good stuff. We've seen him work on his stuff. This guy makes adjustments. I like Merrill Kelly. This is the kind of pitcher I want to back for the Diamondbacks here in this spot. This team knows that they're going to get broken up soon. I remember when they were going against the Angels, the whole talk on Apple TV was no one on the Angels was getting interviewed. It was all Diamondbacks, the coaches, the players, who's getting traded, And they all said, we don't want that to happen. We like the team that we have here. We believe that the team we currently have can win and win at a high level when it comes to the postseason. We've seen them make a run before 2 years ago. They've got a good batting order. They got to stay healthy. I mean, Zach Gallen, they got to get him right a little bit. And the whole rotation's got to get right here. But this team is going to be hanging around. I feel like throughout the whole season, they're going to be right then and there when it comes down to August and September when it's time to making a run. think they want to get this game here against the Cardinals. When I look at both these teams, when I look at both these pitchers, I'm going to tell you Merrill Kelly is a big step above Miles Michaelis. Cardinals have had a pretty good season, had some young talent in there, but I think they're going to have some negative regression the second half of the season. This wasn't a team I was high on going into this season. You look at their fan base, one of the best fan bases in all of baseball, though. These guys really go out there and support their team. It's a poppin' place to be. I mean, there's not a lot out there to do in St. Louis, so they go to these games and they love their Cardinals, man. They've had some really good seasons over. And since I've been watching baseball, I remember watching the early years with Albert Pujols, man, Yadier and Molina, those kind of guys, man. And they're waiting for something like that to happen again. I'm not sure when it will, when they'll get some star players like that. But I think this is a Diamondback spot. I got the -1 plus 110 yesterday. You could probably find a similar number right now. I got a worse number probably last night than what most people would have gotten. But I still like them. I like the Diamondbacks here in this spot. I think they take care of business. Merrill Kelly goes out there and gives us 6 strong innings, and the bats do enough for us against this Cardinals team. I don't like Miles Michaelis in this spot, so give me Diamondbacks -1 plus 110.
This line doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And there's been some movement to the Arizona Diamondbacks, but that's after 72% of the tickets and 81% of the cash is on them. This line opened up at -145, and a lot of offshores still have -145 as the number, but a lot of the public books have this in 155 range. So, and they're slightly different markets there. They have a different customer base. So that's sort of important to note. 50% of the tickets are on the over and 79% of the cash is on the under. This line opened at a 9 and it's now juiced to the under at just about every book, public or offshore. This is a spot. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Who's betting the Cardinals at plus 120 here in this spot? Miles Michaelis is off 2 starts versus Cleveland, where he gave up 6 earned runs on 7 hits and 1 walk. Then he went and saw the Chicago Cubs, 8 earned, 10 hits. It was a terrible start. 5 2/3 versus Washington, only gave up 3 base runners, no earned runs in his most recent start. But this is not a pitcher at this point in the season that I think really demands this kind of price. So does that tell me that Merrill Kelly is the one that's going to get hit? Versus righties on the season, he's got a .99 whip, a 3.13 xFIP. That's great numbers. 1.1 whip versus lefties. The Cardinals did just get back Ivan Herrera in their lineup. Donovan Burleson, Herrera, Contreras, Arenado. It's not the strongest top of the lineup, and at the bottom with Pages and Scott and Walker, Wynn, it's not a lineup that the line doesn't make sense to me. I feel like it's off. I feel like you should have been able to bet the Diamondbacks last night, and it should be 25 cents in your favor.
Yeah.
I think there's something definitely here live with St. Louis that the books are factoring in that I'm not. I wonder if it's that Corbin Carroll maybe gets a day off. He's a guy dealing with a hand injury himself, wrist injury, and Marte, the reports are in that he will be playing. They've done that a couple times where they swapped him out for the other one as they've been dealing with injuries over the past few weeks. So maybe that's that. I'm not sure. I'm off this game overall. It makes me scratch my head a little bit.
Yeah, it's a tough one, Spoons. I mean, you touched on it. I didn't touch on this. I thought that the line was going to move towards the Diamondbacks a little bit more. 5 cents towards their direction on my book, maybe 7 cents, but I would have liked to see a bigger movement here in this spot. So I hear what you're saying here in this spot. I could be wrong on this. That's why I kind of wanted to move on the -1 because I was getting plus money still. So if they win by 1, I take the push. If they lose, I'm pretty much only losing a unit rather than 1.4. That was kind of my philosophy in this game, but it's a tough spot. I'm going to end up back. I'm still on the Diamondbacks here, but I hear what you're saying. It does seem a little bit like it should be the Diamondbacks like -160, -165 here in this spot. But we're not going to, that's probably going to never get to that number. We're going to probably see this stay around this number. So we'll see. Still got to play the game. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. I am on the Diamondbacks -1 plus 110, but we can move on to our Sunday night baseball game, guys. Shout out to everyone that's been rocking with us for the last 2 hours. Appreciate you guys. We got the Detroit Tigers against the Texas Rangers. Spoons already touched on it, man. This was supposed to be Nathan Eovaldi against Tariq Skubal. Supposed to be an elite pitching match here on Sunday Night Baseball. Eovaldi gets scratched. You got Latz out there pitching for the Rangers. Tigers currently sitting at a -177, -180, depending on where you look right now. Rangers at a +162. Is this some slight movement towards the Rangers, Spoons? A little bit, maybe not much, but I mean, is this line really not moving right now? I feel like this was a minus 185, and now it's a minus 177 for the Tigers here. Texas has definitely been playing better baseball the last couple of weeks. They're finally over 500. They're getting it together offensively. They've made some adjustments, and it's been working out well for them. They still have a pretty good starting rotation over there in Texas, too. This is going to be a team that's going to try to make a run at the playoffs still in that AL West. I know I said that the Mariners and Astros, one of those two are for sure getting in. I think there's going to be two AL West teams that make the playoffs this year, but depending on who that second team is, we will see. I'm off this game. I'm not going to move on the Rangers here at plus 162. It does seem a little bit, I feel like this line is priced appropriately, though, just because the Rangers have been playing better baseball lately. Tigers, I mean, this is one of the best teams in all of baseball right now. They've been playing some really good ball. Going into the break, I faded them on that last game. I faded them the first game coming back from the break. This is one of the spots I don't want to fade them. I'm not going to fade Skubal. I remember I backed Skubal a couple weeks ago. I think they were losing like 1-0. And the ninth inning, they end up tying the game, and then they end up winning the ball game like 9-1 in extra innings. It was absolutely wild to watch, and he still didn't get the win in that spot. But just doesn't seem like they really want to hit for Skubal whenever he's out there on the mound. So it is tough. It's going to end up being a pass for me in this game here. Spoons, you have anything to say about this Sunday night baseball game, Detroit Tigers against the Texas Rangers?
Well, Detroit has to travel after this game. So that's a big thing. I think Skubal is a really dominant pitcher, and I think there's a little bit of value trying to fade him in the second half of the season. I expect some of his numbers to come back down to earth. He gave up 4 earned runs in his last start versus Seattle. He gave up 4 earned runs versus the Athletics at home already this season. Gave up 3 earned runs to St. Louis. Like there's some spots to be able to get a few runs off of him, and I think this bullpen offers some spots to get runs as well. I was kind of looking at this last night. There was a few 6.5s that were juiced on the board, mostly 7s. It's all 7s now. We have 53% of the tickets on Detroit and 51% of the cash on Texas. So definitely an odd money split when you have such a big favorite, and that's why the line has gone pummeling down. Circa initially opened this at a minus 155 towards Detroit, but that was with Eovaldi in the game. When they relined it for the pitching change, it was minus 212 for Detroit, and it's just slowly come down to 208, 190, now at 175, clearly indicating that Texas is live in this game, even without the great pitching of Eovaldi in the game. So I think that means their bats are there. I would like to get an over 6.5 and not have to do the 7. You can do that by waiting and getting in on it live. I'm not paying the juice for it. Probably reassess the lines at the time of the game. There's going to be a ton of money that comes in on this game from Publix and Sharps between now and the first pitch. So lots of time to reevaluate there. I lean towards the over in this game. I know the common conception out there is just bet Sunday night baseball unders, but that's not something that I necessarily agree with. And I think we can get some runs here in this game. So I got to lean to the over. I'm going to see if I can't snipe the 6.5 during the first inning if the Jacob Latz is able to get some of the Tigers bats out.
Shout out to my guy Ick Snizzle in the chat right there. He said, "What's good, fam? Much love, wine time, my brother. What's good, Spoon and all PSR low bag fam? What a night last night. Profited over 1K. Always see you in AC." Shout out to my guy Ick right there, man. One of the best people, not just on camera, but when you meet him in person, man, you see what a genuine guy he is. Just such a cool dude that you can have a drink with, talk life with. One of the coolest people you'll ever meet, man. Shout out to my guy Ick Snizzle. Always have a great time with my guy down there in San Antonio. Appreciate your support as always, and shout out to all the guys over there on the Who Bangin' Sports channel. Those are the guys right there. I'm really hoping I can get out to AC with you guys in that late September. I got to, man. I got to get out there with you guys. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm still in question for that, but I'm really hoping I can make it out there. So shout out to you guys, and shout out to my guy Nasty Nate in there as well. I know he's going to be out there in the AC. We've been talking about it. So I want to get out there with you guys. I want to get out there with you. I've never been out there. So leaned for the over here for Spoons in this game. I'm going to end up passing on the Sunday night baseball game. I want nothing to do with this. I wish one of the other games would have been a Sunday night game to actually be able to enjoy and watch, but I'm just going to kick it tonight, let my action go on for the morning and afternoon, and enjoy the rest of the evening. We've got another loaded card. Probably not as much of a loaded card tomorrow because it is a Monday, but we've got more games tomorrow, and we've got a big week coming up. Got a lot of things coming up over here as well at Pub Sports Radio, guys. We've got Medicate Monday every single Monday right here on Pub Sports Radio at 9 a.m. over here on the West Coast. Noon over there on the East Coast for you guys, East Coasters, man. My guy, Dabby Cabin, Dutch Boy Fresh. Just vibe out, kick it, maybe talk some bets, bring on some special guests along the way. But they're there to entertain you guys and have a good time and hang out. So shout out to all those guys over there. Shout out to Jim the Bag, Jose Bouquet, Peter Loshak, everyone Monday through Friday over there at Pub Sports Radio. Appreciate all of them, man. Love all those guys right there. Love this community that we have and that we're building here at PSR. So I appreciate you guys. I want to go over my action very quickly, and then we will let Spoons go over his action as well. I've got mine right here. I'm on the Nationals money line at plus 110. Razor also said, my guy Ick Snizzle, shout out to Ick Snizzle, one gifted Pub Sports Radio membership. You know what that means. That's shot time, baby. Got the Captain Morgan over here, Ick, so shout out to you, my guy. Ooh, all right. And shout out to everyone in the chat. Nats money line plus 110. Jackson Merrill is scratched. Got ruled out for that game. So definitely interesting. Also on the Brewers money line at plus 140 against the Dodgers. We're on the Diamondbacks -1 at plus 110. And then we're on the Athletics plus 120. My favorite play on the board today is the Athletics. They're 30 cents of movement towards the other way. I love to see that. So it's hard for me to actually say it's my favorite play now, but when I tweeted it yesterday, love this play for the Athletics. I think they take care of business today. It's continuously moving towards them. Now they're at -112. I think this is going to get to a -115, maybe even a -120 before first pitch. And shout out to my guy, Nasty Nate. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, take one more here for my guy, Nasty Nate, here in the building. Appreciate Nasty Nate's support always. He's always in the chats over here at Who Bangin', Razor Sharps, PSR. Everyone, man, I appreciate the support and appreciate you guys for giving back to the community. All right. Spoons, take it away, my guy. Let it know where to find you and your card.
Yeah, you can find me over here at Pub Sports Radio. We're going to be doing this every Sunday till the end of baseball season, and over on Thursdays with my guy Jimmy the Bag. Take over for wine time in between Wednesdays and Fridays. He's always over here. And Kyle Kerm's network, I do some of the late night shows, at least 2 or 3 a week. Not real concrete on the days. So over there when I always post my links and stuff on X, just like I always post my cards on X. Got 4 plays locked in right now. I'm circling in, watching that Athletics game. As soon as it first pitch happens, my goal is to move on the Athletics between the top of the first and the bottom of the first. When if they get some outs there, you'll be able to get maybe closer to that plus 130 kind of number that Wine Time is sitting with. I'm going to see what it moves to live, and that'll be my goal there. But I have 4 plays official, trying to get it loaded up so I can get the actual juice. I have the New York Yankees team total over 4.5. I got that at -130. I gave it out on the show. The Giants money line plus 100. Tweeted that out last night. Red Sox money line -135 and Pirates money line -140. Posted all those last night. Just like I'm looking for that Athletics kind of plus money, I'm going to be doing the same thing with Sunday Night Baseball and trying to get that 6.5 I was mentioning. Try to get an over on that. If we can get maybe through the first inning with no runs, I think we'll be able to get a 6 or a 6.5. And that'll be my full card. I won't have any other additions possibly, but besides those 2 games, but 4 plays going into it. The Giants game doesn't look great right now. They're down 2 runs, but a lot of baseball left to be played. Good luck, everyone, this week. Gamble responsibly, as always. Enjoy time with the family, everything. Eat it up. We got baseball back. Football's right around the corner. It's just that magical time of year where everything starts to come together. It's great.
Yeah, it's crazy, Spoons. In about a month from now, it's going to be busy times. And about 2 months from now, it's going to be even busier with NHL and NBA coming, MLB and playoffs, halfway through the NFL season, halfway through the college football season. It's going to be fun, guys. got to take advantage of the dog days this summer, man. Put that work in while you can on the sports that aren't in season. I can't tell you how many hours and pages and words I put into this college football preview that I'm putting together this year. Already broken down the entire Big Ten other than UCLA. I'm saving that for last. It's going to take me so long. So that's the one team I haven't broken down in the Big Ten. I've broken down every team in the SEC. And I've got 7 teams left in the Big 12, guys. So if you guys ever have any questions on any of those teams, I've got all my info written down. Me and my guy Moose, we talk every day about college football. So we go back and forth on our notes and stuff and share our notes with each other. So shout out to my guy Moose over there as well. And I'm just excited for college football. NFL is always fun, but for me, college football, it's everything. I'm really going to take a step back in NFL, I think, this season and try to focus more on baseball in that September time and college football, because I know college football I'm going to be locked into. But NFL, I don't know. We'll see. But I love doing this shit with you, Spoons, my guy. Always a great time doing this. Shout out to everyone in the chat for showing out, man. We're nothing without you guys. We appreciate all the donations. Kyle Kerms donated 10 donations. We got my guy Ick, Razor, Nasty Nate, all donating. My guy, let's see, Gorky, everyone in here. Kyle, Macedo, shout out to you, Skunt Blaster, AM, BG, all these guys, man. Appreciate the love from you guys. We're here every single Sunday at Pub Sports Radio, walk-off wagers. Good luck to everyone on their action today, and let's leche those bookmakers. We out.